Hello. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Who's here first? Hello. Anne, you are here first. Hello. I thought I'd be first. Welcome, Anne and Jamie. Juan, I see you, Juan. Welcome, Marilyn. Marilyn, what are you saying here? Let's see. Marilyn is saying today is a marker for sure. What if Mr. T accepted Speaker SCOTUS rules in favor of Brunson? Congress swamp rats are removed, and who would be president? Very interesting, Marilyn. Very interesting. I'm glad you shared that. You shared your thoughts here based on things that are happening, right? Things that are being discussed, not in many circles, we must admit. Now, okay, before I go on, I'm trying to improve my broadcasting. It's incremental, but I want to ask you, am I looking directly in the camera? Am I looking at you? Does it feel like we're looking like we're at a coffee shop drinking a beverage? Am I looking right at you? Tell me. Let me know. I need the feedback because when I look back, I don't look back at a lot of my broadcasts, but the ones that I want to relearn, definitely it helps. But it's just so weird because I have a new camera. I want to look here. When I look here, I'm looking at you. Okay, so I'm looking at you right now as if we were just, yeah. Karen says, yeah. Welcome, Karen, our beautiful Harlem Sentinel. Okay, so Karen, you're saying right now, if we were in New York, we were in Harlem hanging out at one of those cool coffee shops, that I would be looking at you, not looking all over ooh, what are they doing, right? I'm looking at you now, Karen, in the coffee shop in Harlem. Okay. It's working. Sean is here. Molly, hello. Look at that. I'm getting better at this, looking at the camera thing. It's very strange though. I have a point that if I look right here, okay, everybody, these are just little tricks of the trade. I have to look here according to what you all are saying. This will be I need to put like something there. I wish that mark right here was right here. That's from some old adhesive. So if I'm looking right there, I'll need to make my mark. So you all help me. Yes? Okay. That's right, Karen. We're hanging out in Harlem, okay? I lived in Harlem. I love Harlem. It's woke though. It's not the same Harlem of the Harlem Renaissance, is it? There's a New Yorker. New York May. Welcome, New York May. Look at that. I'm getting some practice and looking at you in the right way with my new camera. It's not a new camera. It's a new old camera. It was something that I got and I didn't unbox it. So now I just have to get used to, because it's a swivel camera. It's one of those you could put it. I'll do more with it and show you one day. Maybe we'll do a little field trip and I'll show you how it could maybe look like a GoPro, possibly. The Tippinator, nice to have you here. Thank you, the Tippinator. You said yes, it looks like you're looking at the camera. Okay, the Tippinator, thank you. Now I know where to look so that we can be more, okay, because you're looking at me. I don't see you, however. Okay, Juan, you said yes. Thank you. See, it's a group project here. And this is just a tip for anybody. If you want to start broadcasting, we all learn. We come from the mud. We're not professionals, right? We don't say the same things. We're not Mockingbird, right? Hey, Derek. Well, hello, Derek. Hi, and welcome. You're new, aren't you? I want everyone, please, to give Derek a warm welcome from the Chatmosphere, because he's new, isn't he? Derek, I think you're new here, but I want to tell you welcome. The last name, you probably have to tell me more. No, don't. Okay, Bert. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I thought it was something else. When I looked real quick, Derek, I'm not going to tell you what I thought I read. I need glasses. But I'm glad you're here. You said you're piercing my soul. Derek, what does that mean? I'm piercing your soul. I hope that's good, okay? All right, so listen. I want to get into some things. And, oh, wait, T. Witten is here. T. Witten, hello. Welcome. Nice to always see you when I get to see you. So what are you saying, T. Witten? I have to do it like you might write it, right? If Mr. T becomes Speaker of the House, he is third in line for corporate president by Kamala and Brandon. He would be president of both systems. Now that is I just like to see all of your thoughts on things that are going on, because one of the things I want to say is my sissy girl code, she keeps me plugged in, and she keeps me remembering. Okay, do you have like a sister in your life that keeps you remembering? Because remembering is very important to, understanding our history. Because we have been, and I want to talk to you about something. Oh gosh, it's so much I want to talk about. But let's just hang out, okay? Because I have time today. How about you? Do you have time today? Because I thought January 6th is an epiphany. I want you to share all your epiphanies with me, okay? That word epiphany, what does it mean to you? Does it mean anything to you? Epiphany. My dad, okay, Mr. T. George Washington, I was hanging out with him a few weeks ago in the ATL. By the way, I don't like the ATL. I'm always, okay, let me be positive. Okay, I'm sorry, ATL. I'm always throwing shade on you, but no, I was in ATL hanging out with Mr. T. George Washington, and it's always something like a revelation. Okay, it's always good, like, to be around when people are talking about the old days. Okay, I wonder if we will be those people that the younger ones will be interested in hearing about the old days. But it's important to hear and allow people to remember, because remembering is really key to a lot of things. And because our world can get us off kilter and we're not balanced, we can forget very critical things, especially foundational things that we were taught. And we got away from these things, practices, knowledge, wisdom. Wisdom, even how to be well. There was a lot of wisdom shared. So it is important to remember. And that is what I appreciate so much with Girl Code. She helps me to remember. And I want to bring certain things back. I know we joke around about circle back because that other Jen, she used the term, but we can recycle it. Circling back is good. I like circling back, okay, with you. You like to circle back? Welcome on Facebook if you're joining. So Susan is saying something about Epiphany. Susan, you are saying Happy Epiphany, Little Christmas. Okay, so you recognize Epiphany as today, January 6th. Some people recognize it if you're looking at the Ethiopian calendar. It would be, I believe, the 19th of January. Let me know. Correct me, everybody. Hey, Camilla. Welcome, Camilla. I'm looking at you directly, right? So I'm getting some practice there. So, okay. Let's see. Who else? Dorn. Dorn, you're back. Welcome back. Blessings to you and thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, so if I missed you in the chatmosphere, just forgive me. I'll get around to seeing who's here. Hi, Dave. Hello there. Okay, so, all right, I'm just getting through. Oh, yes, I love that. Thank you, Karen. Epiphany and Seeds of Restoration. That is, going to be a thing that I really want to bring up a lot. Jay Blair is joining. Welcome, Jay. He says Trump owes me a lot of money. That's a funny way to start off. It's just funny for me to even say it. I like saying it. Trump owes me a lot of money. Trump, you owe me a lot of money. Why does Trump owe you a lot of money? I think, I told you my little idea. The reason Trump owes people is that he's been living rent-free in so many people's minds and hearts. So Trump owes he owes rent to a lot of people. Yeah, so I'm just joking. You probably want to say something serious, Jay. Adnan, okay, Jay brings this guy up. Adnan Sakli said to me in 2013, oh, Adnan said Trump owes me a lot of money. And then he started to belly laugh. Oh, so this is fun. Okay. But again, Trump, you owe rent to a lot of people. You are living rent-free in so many heads, Trump, okay? So technically, you do owe a lot of money, Trump. Oh, our Irish brother is here. Welcome, Joseph. Greetings. You're not late. No, I haven't gotten into anything yet, okay? We're just, I'm just warming up. Is it okay? It's okay. We don't have to rush, right? We're not in a rush. So let's just slow it down. Let me get a little sip of beverage here, warm beverage. And thank you. Yeah. Oh, you didn't get a notification? Yeah. The notification deal it's a hit or miss. Not really much that I've heard that you could do about it. It's weird. I'm waiting for the next Elon to buy YouTube. Who has the money? Anybody have some coins that could buy Google? I'm sure it's like quadrillion dollars. Tina, welcome from Sweet Home, Alabama. I want to make some field trips to Alabama. Got to get to Tuskegee Institute. Really, really excited about getting over there for a field trip. Tuskegee. I'll be coming to see you. Wisdom is a person referred to in the Bible as she. Yes, wisdom is. I like reading the Proverbs about wisdom. I haven't done it lately. That should be something. Maybe I'll read it with you all, huh? Maybe we'll read through some Proverbs. Proverbs are amazing. And that one about wisdom, yelling in the street, and nobody acknowledges her, right? Wisdom. And it is a she. Yes. Blue. Welcome, Blue. Blue says, I just hope I stay alive long enough to have that chat with my grands. Yes, it would be such a blessing. Welcome, Blue. Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing, to be able to do that, to pass down wisdom. So let's see, it's a new name here. Adenga Mobutu. Did I say that right? Odinga Mobutu. Welcome. Let's give a warm welcome to Odinga, who says, "Free Andrew Tate." Okay. All right, Odinga. Welcome. So that's how you feel. Free Andrew Tate. Is he not free? Let me know. Is he not free? I didn't know he wasn't free. But yeah, okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're watching. Time Will Tell says I'm watching the House Speaker movie. Exactly, movie. Exactly. Yes. Okay, so then you have Blue, who says Andrew Tate is a pig. Okay, so you see how I like this. This is not an echo chamber. Echo, echo, echo. I would like more of this. How do you all feel? That's why I'm digging Twitter right now, because you'll see free Andrew Tate and then Andrew Tate is a pig. Okay, so welcome, Blue, and welcome everyone's ideas, your thoughts and ideas. So yeah, okay. I wanted to talk about this aspect of an epiphany. And I feel that, okay, wait, first, let me just read the definition. If anybody wants to throw it in there. Dana, are you here? I'm always asking where Dana is. Dana would be like, I could just imagine, like, if we were all physically living around, Dana would be like, oh no, there she goes calling me again. I would be on her nerves. I'm sure, Dana. Anytime I want information, I just yell, Dana, where's Dana? She's been so good with, right? For 3 years, Dana, you've been the fact checker for our. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that off. You're being welcomed. Hey, Sean. Sean says, welcome, Odinga. Where are you, joining us from? Let us know. It sounds like you might not be very local, but that's just me. Don't call me a racist, Odinga. It just sounds like you might not be from the neighborhood. Okay? Is that okay to say? Is that okay? But, it's all love. I'm just asking. Just share, please. Where are you tuning in from? Okay, so I want to look up the word epiphany and just give you what they say it is. What they say it is. Okay, so Odinga, you have a lot to say. Let me put this up on the screen, Odinga. Odinga says, this civilization it hates or doesn't hate masculinity. Clarify that. Okay, but I think I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Clarify, is it that this civilization hates masculinity or doesn't hate masculinity? I think I may know what you mean though. But yeah, I'm in agreement, right? I am. I'm sure a few people here. Okay, so what it's saying when I first look up Epiphany is it says a Christian feast celebrating the manifestation of the divine nature of Jesus to the Gentiles as represented by the Magi, traditionally observed on January 6th. Isn't it funny to just say we're here January 6th and not hear insurrection, the Capitol, insurrection. And isn't it nice that, you have something different to see January 6th as? Because I was listening to just craziness on, like, Mark Dice did a really nice compilation of, going out Southern California. I think he goes to Orange County beaches and, he does the thing like you know, what do you think about January 6th? Does it have any meaning? Has anyone seen the latest Mark Dice drop? I would play it, but Mark, I don't know. Would you hit me with a strike or something? I don't know. Fair use, but I don't know how you are. You're cool and everything to watch your videos, but I don't know if you're offended if I would play it. So I'm not going to do it, everyone. If you have a chance, check out the latest Mark Dice video where he goes around and he just, man about town kind of thing. I've always liked when, shows do that, like when Jay Leno used to do that was so, the Jaywalkers. You remember the Jaywalkers? That was one of the best segments. I would love it so much. And so this is what Mark Dice is, the basically, that blueprint of going just with the hot mic in front of people. I don't know what you have to do, right, to get it all approved, but I wouldn't mind doing that sometimes, right? Just like, hey, how you feeling about this? Because it's like the comment section coming to life, right? So you're basically in the comment section out and about. So let's see. What are you saying, T. Witten? We're talking about masculine, feminine. This, yes. And, both. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So Mark Dice is asking various people, what does January 6th mean to you? And they're like, what do you mean? I don't know. That's how this is basically the standard reaction is, I don't know. What is it supposed to mean to me? And, he goes and asks a few people. Some it's a range from very clueless, and that's just the person, like, they're just trying to live their life. They're either walking and exercising, going to get a churrito. I don't know. They're just like, January 6th. It's just another day. I don't really know what I'm supposed to feel. And some people knew, they were more plugged in, and they were sharing that, well, it's a big scam. They are not buying into what the mainstream narrative it has been crafting about January 6th. And so one man was real plugged in, does his own research. He's definitely tinfoil hat guy. But he was saying, the media wants me to believe that this was like the worst thing, this insurrection, this whatever. But I see that they're crafting a narrative, basically. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. This guy sees through the matrix. Okay. Shout out to Andrew Tate. So he sees through the matrix. Of course, my feed, tell me if the feed is still going. Yeah, we're living definitely in a time when words mean things, right? Words. Yes, so I froze. Is everything okay? Is it back? Let me know. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. I'll wait. Let me know if I'm back. It's better now. Thank you. Okay. You notice when I said, I'm not going to say her name, but Jenny says this. How do you all feel about that name? Not a name that's spoken about anymore. If they're always with a, January 6th. Okay. So why don't you talk about this person right here? I happened to see something just recently, I think on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. The widower of this person on the screen, the widower just took the remains, the ashes, and made some sort of, I'd have to look it up to tell you. If you've seen what I'm talking about, let me know. But it was just I saw it today on Twitter, and so it was interesting. But anyway, her name is not spoken about a lot. Blue has a different idea. Blue doesn't believe the narrative about this. Okay, so again, glad we don't have a echo chamber going on as much. I mean, it would be nice to have more people, more diversity of thought and opinion if it can be done in a certain way. I don't know. It's welcome. So Odinga is saying, Jennifer Eason, I am in Virginia. Okay, I am just adopting the name. Okay, it is not my real name. LOL. Okay. Well, it's an interesting name that you've adopted. I'm glad. I hope you like it, and you're trying it out. It's like taking a name and just don't doing a test drive to see how it sounds with somebody saying it, right? Okay. How it looks. Yeah. When you adopt names, why not? Why not? So, Epiphany, let me continue with, okay, we see that one definition is a Christian feast, and the second definition is a revelatory manifestation. Let me do this again. A revelatory manifestation of a divine being. Let me read that again because it was real deep, right? A revelatory manifestation of a divine being. And the third definition is a sudden insight or intuitive understanding. Let me read that again. A sudden insight. That sounds like what Oprah would say, that aha moment. That's what that kind of comes off as. I know we don't like Oprah references, but we have to do the balance, okay? I'm about the balance, okay? So the aha thing wasn't her idea. She didn't come up with it, but she made it popular, I'll say. So that's what this sounds like, a sudden insight or intuitive understanding. All right. So that's an epiphany. Oh, Joseph is saying epiphany is one of my favorite words. Yes, it's one of my favorite words too, Joseph. It's just some words have, you could say, a frequency, and they basically have a certain, I'm still here, as you can hear me. Bear with me a moment. But certain words have, I would say I'll stick with frequency, because we talk about frequency here, and it's like music and sound, whatever, it's science, right? It's science. So, certain words, they hit a certain way. And epiphany is one of those words for me as well, Joseph. I love words. And often just opened up dictionaries when I was little, some of my little collection, I even have it here. So words are something that, if you're a creative person, you can put words together and build words to create your thoughts, and you can be creative with it. If you have that, it's a gifting, and I believe maybe most people may have it if they developed it, but some people just have it naturally, So yes, epiphany is a great word. So yes, Jenny said insight. Yes, insight. So I want to talk about that in regards to January 6th. It's very apropos. That's another word that I like. I like the word apropos. Apropos. And apropos, let me just look that up and read it. Let's get nerdy. Why not? Okay, so apropos I don't use some of my words as much as I used to. It's like remembering. It's part of the remembering, getting accustomed to a word again. So apropos is fitting and to the point. Relevant. I'm not often to the point. I'm kind of flowery, get around to it person. But to the point, I can be to the point, but that's what apropos. I like fitting and relevant. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's apropos that today is January 6th, and we're talking about a sudden aha moment that we all have these insights, as Jenny is saying, these revelatory things that happen that you can't quite explain. You know that you know. And you get confirmation. I believe you get confirmation as long as you stay engaged with it, with a movement, a mission, an idea, a hope, a dream. If you stay engaged with that, you will have confirmations because it's a journey of understanding. And the Father, He provides more confirmations in little ways. Sometimes you just get a few confirmations along the way. Sometimes you get big confirmations. But I think big confirmations shouldn't always be what we seek, because sometimes I believe if you get a big confirmation, it can throw you off balance. And that's what I seek a lot, is balance. So a big shocking confirmation, for me personally, I may not like to receive my revelations that way. I like the smooth and the rolling smooth wave, right? We want to say a wave, just smooth and wavy. Not so much, the what do you call the breakers, the big waves that, the what is happening in California right now. What are they calling that thing? A cyclone, that causes catastrophic, things. And that would be what I would liken having a big revelation, a big aha, turn up the intensity. It would throw the balance off. Even if it were good, okay? Some of us, we didn't know what we were asking for, if we go back to 2020. I think you'll discern what I'm getting at. Some of us wanted things to happen in a big way. We're kind of adrenaline junkies, some of us. We like adventure. But did we know what we were really asking for? Do you want your revelations and aha moments to be that way? Like strong, like a woman having birth pangs. Who's ever had birth pangs, huh? You want to talk about being a woman? This is going to be a spoon moment. You want to talk about being a woman? Let me give you a definitive thing. If you've never had labor pains, if you've never had the pains that come with a woman that goes through a cycle, a monthly change, a cycle, or if you've never had the change of menopause. Some of my friends go into a sudden, you talk about an epiphany, a sudden onslaught of body changes right before your eyes. You're watching just pouring sweat. They have to go lay on on a tile floor, pulling up their shirt so they could touch their belly against the cold tile. If you don't know what this stuff feels like, if you've never gone through, I won't take it there, but I could go further with it. The thing is, being a woman, and I'm going to get off of this in a minute, being a woman is more than makeup and wigs and high heels. It's more than that. And if these people don't stop pushing this issue, because they are offending the very essence of what a woman is. And I know a lot of the guys in the manosphere hate us. But being a woman has nothing to do with makeup, wigs, and high heels. Period. The end. Emphasis on period, okay? Because whatever they're doing, taking things and pretending, have you seen this new trend to take hormonal things and do things so you can feel contractions? You can't, I thought I'd get off of this. You aren't feeling any contraction if you don't have a uterus. Period. The end. And you know what, women? We are going to have to start speaking this way. When somebody wants to push an agenda that is so inorganic, it is so unnatural, and we're sitting here letting them just encroach on the essence of who we are. And I know we have a lot of messed up things going on, ladies, because I'm not one of those women that just side with you just because you have a uterus. That is no kind of merit, okay? Everybody can get the smoke with me. But we're going to have to start addressing this madness. How dare somebody try to tell us who we are, who God made us to be? How dare somebody? These little crazy, what are they, Gen Zs? I don't know what they're going to need, but it's going to be a lot bigger than the spoon. It's going to be a big spoon for this what they're doing to this generation. It's a big, we need big solutions, big spoon solutions. They have poisoned the minds. I was watching this Dylan Mulvaney. Does anybody know what this Dylan Mulvaney? I'm going to tell you something. He seems like a paid agent. He's making tons of money. Tons of money. And he's an actor. That's all you have to do. Go look at their background. Because you look at his YouTube videos, they're too highly produced. Way too high. They're like Hollywood productions. And he's so polished. Absolutely polished. You know, has the humor down, the timing. Because he was a Broadway star. He was in the Book of Mormon. Go look him up. Who else is here? Star Heal. Okay, you know about it. Star Healing Tarot says he is an actor. Okay. So this is, you know, we're at a point now. A lot of us need to do the let's sit down with a cup of whatever you want in here, okay? We need to talk because we've been duped. All of us, you all, you liberals, whatever you want to put, you want to keep the left, right, Democrat, Republican thing going. Who's over that? I am. Who's over it? Completely over it. We're at a point now that needs to fade away. Whatever that is, Democrat, Republican. That's a bit. What do you say? Karen said that big spoon is awesome. Need a pic? Okay, I'll get a pic. Okay, I'll get an Instagrammable pic. You know, I have to make it IG worthy. The big spoon. Yes. So we're at a point now that I know a lot of liberals are getting tired. They have fatigue right now. The fractures are starting to show. All you have to do is peruse the chatmospheres, enter the comment sections, get on over to Twitter, and you will start to understand that we're at a point now where even the hardest core liberals, you have a man I'm following on Twitter. This man called himself the COVID police. He said he used to be the COVID police. He's every day apologizing. He's trying to make things right for what he did in 2020 to people. He's very transparent about it. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, I'll tell you if you want to follow him. I mean, I see some of his liberal friends, they attack him and pile on. You know how they did us, our friends, but a lot of us didn't have like flaming liberal friends. We just had like hidden liberals, or not so much hidden, but when someone comes from a very far left, liberal, you know, they bought up all of the stuff from college that we were taught, indoctrinated into. If somebody comes out of that type of academia, one of the cities up north, like my hometown, Philadelphia, coming out of Philly, you're a total Democrat. You're just a Democrat because everybody does it. My grandmother was, all my aunties are Democrats. You have a family of retarded people and a friend circle of retarded people. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. Trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. Okay, I'll be nice from here on out. Okay, so I had to get that out, but I was retarded with that Democratic thinking. I was like that. Now you could go too far right as well. Any of the extremes is crazy. That's the true definition of crazy. To be on the extreme of anything, where it'll take you out of your natural mind. That's not good. When you can't question the narrative, when you realize, damn, I'm in a cult. I am actually in a cult. And when you break out of the cult, what happens? It's just like Jim Jones drinking the Kool-Aid. And do you think, okay, when you hear about any cult, religious cult, we all know all of them, okay? Do I have to offend people? Do I need to name them? We know they knock on your door and you're crawling. Damn it, they see me. Shit. We know they come by on their bicycles. You need any yard work done? What do you need? You know, religion is not going to be popular, but I can have an opinion. Everybody should be okay. You could talk about my tribe. I can talk about your tribe, the things I observe. Let's sit down, break some bread, stop being so sensitive. Nobody is a sacred cow. Everybody can get the smoke. Everybody. And that's the problem. We've been silenced and censored and not having freedom to just express. Yeah, I think that I'm observing a pattern here, a coincidence here, and we need to talk about it. I'm noticing a pattern here. Joe Biden, oh, so you went for a vacation in St. Croix, huh? You were in St. Croix, were you? For the holidays. You and Dr. Jill Biden were in St. Croix. And wow, real strange how things happen. Real weird. So, Joe Biden, you were in St. Croix. Let me see. All right. So, Joe Biden was in St. Croix for the holidays. Okay. Is that allegedly or for real? Was Joe Biden in St. Croix, the United States Virgin Islands, for the holidays? Can I get a fact check, please, on aisle 17? Can I get a fact check? Was Brandon in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands, for the holidays? Can I get a fact check? Yes, Kathy, he was. So it is true. Jennifer, you run. Let me tell you, the way I talk, you think I could run? I've talked about everybody. Have you heard me talk about the Black Boule? My God, I definitely wouldn't get their vote for anything. But okay, so let's get back to this. Joe Biden was in St. Croix, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And voila, this lady here, Denise George, Attorney General or former Attorney General. Thank you, Tina. Yes, he was. Okay. So, Denise George here, the former district attorney of the United States Virgin Islands, a territory of the corporation. She is a Howard University graduate. She might have known Kamala Harris, another Howard University graduate. This is HBCU. To anybody who wants to know what it is, the very, like, what is it? The bedrock of the Black Boule. Okay? The Black Boule. This is where they recruit their stars, their rising stars. The Black Boule. So Denise George went to Howard University, which is in Washington, D.C. Now, I'm not trying to act like I didn't go. You know, I'm very transparent with you all about the fact that I come from a Black Boule family. So I have a little bit of inside info. It's like how the word says to be in the world but not of the world. So I was in the Black Boule but not of the Black Boule. Do you get what I'm saying? So I went to a Black Boule HBCU, Spelman College in Atlanta. So this is a woman who I'm not going to assume is part of the Black Boule. And the reason why I'm not is that she went against the narrative. She went against the narrative, Denise George. And in fact, I need to ask my stepfather, we may know her family because my stepfather worked for Hess Oil in St. Croix. They used to have a refinery, an oil refinery in St. Croix. One day we're going to talk about some of these things. So, it's like living in a small town. And the oil refinery was like the biggest thing economically, and employed people and really paid them above a living wage. You know what it's like. You know what your hometown was like when it was fully, economically just grinding along. You know the cities where the men could be men. When the men could bring home more than a living wage and he could have his wife at home, because if he wanted extra money, it was always overtime, always available work. If you wanted to work and be an employee, your choice. But there was also lots of entrepreneurs as well, right? Business owners. So, okay. Denise George here, like I'm saying, just because I come from a Black Boule family, I'm not Black Boule, right? Do you all believe me that I'm not Black Boule? I want to kind of see. Give me an honest opinion. It's okay. Do you believe me when I say I am not Black Boule? Let me just see. Because people think a lot of things. In fact, I'm going to do a live stream later about another thing that people think about things. It'll be fun, okay? You believe me, Sean. Thank you. Mish, you believe me? Empress 13, thank you. Grandma Shell, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm glad. Super, welcome, Super. Okay, so you believe me when I say I am not Black Boule. I have not taken an oath to a sorority, to a lodge. I have no lodge membership. I may have lodge pins from my grandmother, Stormy. That's what I'm saying about being in it, but not of it. I may have things because my grandma and other people in my family had affiliations. Some denounced them, but I have not had to denounce anything. I do not have to denounce an oath. You believe me, Karen? Okay. Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx is in the house. You say, yeah, you and that spoon are definitely not Boule. Thank you. Andrea, hey, you said born into it. Yeah. Yep. So this woman here, Denise George, and I'm saying that so you could see that, and it helps me to remember and give a certain amount of grace and understanding that not everybody that is a part of a group or seemingly a part of a group, it doesn't mean that they are of the group. They may be in the group, okay? So she showed fruits that would lead me to believe that she is not part of the Black Boule, even though she graduated from Howard University. This woman right here, she deserves her flowers. And Denise, if I find a connection, the whole 6 degrees of separation, I will send you some flowers. because you deserve honor for being so courageous. Ever since I heard when you took the position as the Attorney General for the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I saw what you were planning to do, you had my full admiration and respect, Denise. That's right, Mish. Give her her flowers. Jamel is here. Jamel, welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Jamel, you were one of the people that reminded me, and it's so apropos that you're here. You reminded me about looking into, well, you didn't remind, you told me. I didn't know anything about what was happening with the thing going on today. Okay, the Brunson versus Adams. And it was amazing, Jamel, that I ended up knowing one of the brothers. Long story, but I lived in Utah. I went to a barbering college, and I actually knew Rollin. I know Rollin. So it was just crazy. I was just so, my mind was just so many places. When you all said it, I just figured, well, oh, that's a coincidence. I don't know the name. I know that name. You know, when you see a name, you're like, that name looks familiar. But you're not sure. You don't really tap into, why does that name look familiar to me, right? And that was one of those things when you all told me. I just figured, oh, it's probably just somebody with the same name. And when I looked into it, I was blown away. Like, wow. So I want to thank you, Jamel, for that. Thank you so much. It's so nice to have you here. Welcome. Let me take a little bit of this beverage. Sean says, yes, it's so crazy that I knew Rollin. Yes. You know, but Sean, I don't have to say that my life has just been crazy. Some of the things people wouldn't believe, I don't even talk about it. Do you have a life like that where you don't even talk about the stuff because you're like, they wouldn't even believe me? They would think I made it up anyway, so why bother? Let me see my little light here. Let me light it up. All this little technology issues. I need better lighting. Okay, so yes, it is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And like I said, things get crazier by the minute sometimes. But they have been crazy. You have that kind of life too, Juan, where you don't even bother. It's like, why even sound crazy saying it, right? They'll just roll their eyes and say, oh, what a liar. So you're like, okay. I just have to keep it to myself. You like this show? Good. I'm glad you did. Time will tell. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I enjoyed it. I really did. I know you have that kind of life, Karen. I know Karen does have that kind of life. Like, why bother? They're not going to believe me if I say it. You know how to just, it comes naturally sometimes, just comes out organically. Because it may come up like something, a connection, and you just, you just have to read the room sometimes and know your audience, which it's just something we all have to learn. I'm still learning, always learning. So again, back to Denise George. So Denise George, when she became the district attorney of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Denise went into discovery, I guess, when you start doing the research into Epstein Island. So she hit the ground running. She was getting 20 years worth of flight logs. Now, we have seen flight logs going around, and in 2020, we saw some people on the flight logs that it was pretty shocking, some of the people. And some of us, had to get, I don't know. It was shocking to me because I liked at least one of the people on the flight log. I wasn't a big fan, but I liked them, and it was very hard to imagine that. Wow, they're not a good person. They're really not a good person. They're really a bad person. Like, this is an extreme type of bad, and it was a shock to the system. And it was preparing a lot of us for ultimately hearing more being disclosed. Dana's here. Dana, finally, I was calling for you, Dana, earlier. Welcome. Yes, give the flowers to Denise George. Give her flowers. Hey, unalienable, I've missed you. We got to connect. Oh, it's been so, But yes, haha, we all need better lighting. Yes, right? In many ways, right? Better lighting. Yes, so thanks for joining, Brian. So happy to have you here. Yes, so Denise was getting over 20 years of flight logs. And she recently put together a lawsuit and put the lawsuit in, I don't know the proper legal term. She put it into the Southern District of New York. How many of us remember the Southern District of New York coming up, right? So she filed it, right? Okay, I got the name now. She filed it with the Southern District of New York. And we know the things that we learned back in 2016 regarding things, laptops. You had Anthony Weiner, whatever. You had all of these things. And then by 2020, we heard about the laptop from hell and the suppression. We heard about some very disturbing things about some of the cops that had to see some of the content on these laptops and servers. And there was a narrative that some of those police officers died. They were never right. If they lived through the experience, they were traumatized so badly for the content that they had to see. And I believe that narrative. I did research. I have to go dig for a lot of it because we've had a lot of time pass, but there are lots of things that corroborate that there was a family. And I forget that police officer's name. You all remember, I think she was Dominican. But I don't know how the police officers lost their life. I mean, I heard it was, the S word, when a self-deletion. So if anybody knows what I'm talking about, let me know if you remember. Because I have to just dig up this stuff. Empress, oh my goodness. Thank you, Empress. Empress 13. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for joining from over across the pond. Yes, we love our brothers and sisters from across the pond. We don't have we don't have the beef with y'all. We know it's not you, okay? It's that royal family and all the stuff going. Oh, how embarrassing. You would think that we were over there with you, actually, Empress 13, because if you open up any media here, American propaganda, when you open it up, all you see is story after story about Harry and Meghan Markle and Prince Chucky, who thinks he's a king, Kang Chucky, and all of this made up drama, because I am not believing in all of this drama going on. After all, Meghan Markle was an actress again. All right, everybody? An actress. So if we have all these actresses and actors, why are we so, I don't know, why is it hard to believe that so much of what we're watching is scripted and staged? Why is that so hard? Does it have something to do with, the adage when they say, well, they credit, I believe who do they credit with this? That it's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they were fooled. Who is that credited to? I'll wait for the chatmosphere. Empress says we are all in the same shit. That's what it boils down to. That's like the most philosophical thing, that we're all, we can get very centric into our, oh, America, it's only happening here. No, look at the people that tune in. This BS is going on all over this world, whether you want to believe it's a sphere, a donut, a flat plane, whatever you want to listen, it's whatever. Okay, I don't care if you believe in a globe. I don't care, but the globe is screwed up by people all over it. Okay, if we want to talk globe, flat, all flat brain people running things that shouldn't, all over the flat realm. A donut. Okay, a donut. If you believe in a donut, they thought we were a sucker and they tried to glaze us, right? Wait, how's it go? You thought I was a donut and tried to glaze me, right? They think that we are going to keep putting up with this. But people all over the world are tired, just tired over it. We have seen behind the curtain. We see that the Wizard of Oz is a little guy, a little wimp from the manosphere, abusive, a nerd, a geek, Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci. That is who's behind the curtain. That's who Satan looks like. That's Satan, basically. You thought it was some, guy with a red suit and horns and all this. No. Just look up Anthony Fauci's picture. Bill Gates, all of these people that are abusive, that are the epitome of narcissists, who feel that they have the right answers after they create chaos. They believe that this world is overpopulated. And in order for them to get these things pushed, they have to shut people up. You see the correlation? They have to infiltrate all media and communication. And they have to shut up the ones that are looking at them while they're committing crimes and saying, you're committing a crime. You're committing a crime against humanity. How dare you? And we're not going to shut up. We don't care how many channels you take away. We don't care if we're talking to one or two people. You should have never let us get a microphone. That's what you should have never let happen. Because now the horse has left the stable. Ray, Ray, thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. Thank you and welcome, Ray. Welcome. So nice. Let's give Ray, please, some love from the chatmosphere. We like to welcome new names that we don't see. That's right. There you are. Juan, the definition of Satan is an adversary. So when you think about court and law, when you go into a court, you have somebody who is accusing you, who is bringing a suit against you. Sometimes it's legitimate and sometimes it's not. That's for the judge to declare. And see, sometimes the judge will allow for things. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, Satan is not all powerful. And you know what? We need to ask forgiveness that we have given so much power to Satan. For those that get afraid of Satan and his schemes and what his workers and children are doing. We need to ask forgiveness when we run too far into what they're doing all the time. And when we think that God is losing anything, we need to really check ourselves when we think that they are winning, Satan and his children, just because they have a bigger microphone and they have this system was created with their sick minds and hearts. Nobody of beauty and of God would create such a system of the current banking system. Think about that in itself. Only Satan would think of, oh, wow, I think it'd be a great idea to put everybody in debt. And debt is basically credit. Debt is what we trade. Who would do that? Other than a very what is the word? They basically GMO. Artificial. I mean, do you all still want to fly around in spaceships? Do you still want to do that? Are you still down with the whole, George Jetson? Do you want to do all this stuff? Or do you want to get back to the soil? Do you want to fly around with Elon Musk and put some chips in your head so you can become one with the algorithm, with the AI, as he says? And see, that's the thing. I can give Elon credit when it's deserved, but I happened to see something recently where Elon is talking about how AI is basically out of control now. It's now taken off and it can do, he says, they haven't, their schemes are so sick. He said at this moment in time, they have drones that could go and basically facially recognize anybody and just go and unalive them, delete them. They have the technology right now. And some people would get scared just knowing that, right? Like if they realize the type of technology, the advancement. But see, you have to understand that AI is basically, that's the demonic kingdom. That's the fallen angel technology. That's the fallen angel knowledge. They had perfect knowledge. And they fell. And they became corrupted. And they want to corrupt God's children. It's not enough that they're corrupted. You remember, we read from the book of Enoch. And the angels are very much like real, like they're like, you have possibly entertained angels. Do you believe it? Do you have any angel stories? You have possibly entertained angels. But because they propagandize everything, you think that you're going to see an angel that looks a certain way. They have very varied diversity of angels. A diverse level of power. A hierarchy. Hence, archangels. So, yeah, we could go and talk about all the ways that we have entertained angels unaware, it says. So why couldn't Satan be in a form that looks just like a person? Not this thing that Hollywood got us all confused. you know? And we expect things to be a certain way. And then when we find out, okay, it's not what I expected. I didn't think the apocalypse was going to be quite like this. I didn't know that you could literally laugh at a lot of the apocalypse. I didn't know it would be so funny. Did you? I thought it would be nothing but just constant agony and just trauma every minute. But it is like when they say clown world, they couldn't have come up with a better concept, clown world. And then we have, Paul Romano with doing the year of the dummy and with the year of the broken. He's captured so much of the decline of this matrix. And he has been spot on. He's named them ghouls. And that's what it's like a bunch of crazy, insane clown posse ghouls. They want us to believe that you could take a guy and put makeup on him and a wig and he looks uglier than homemade sin with his big size 14 feet, wanting to wear high heels. Let me tell you, girls, these high heels are not created by women. We wouldn't create something so torturous. But have at it if you want to wear that crap. Go ahead. I think Balenciaga makes a nice stiletto. I saw Beyonce in some of them. Have at it, girls. You want to be in a hot wig in the summer? Sweating? You like that? You want to play with tampons, huh? You want to play with tampons. What insanity. What insanity. Do you know how much that crap costs every month? You want that kind of, where you could be free and sowing your wild oats, doing whatever, not paying for sanitary items? That's insanity. That you would want to take on all that it is to be a girl or a woman. You must be absolutely insane. But if it's something that is in your makeup, like I love you, listen, I have been called a fag hag, okay? But, enough is enough. And I have friends that are gay that I could talk like this to them. They're not caught up in these narratives where they get triggered. Oh, you can't say that about my group. They don't consider themselves in that group. They consider themselves free to choose whatever group. They agree with us with a lot. They're tired of the clown world. They're suffering from the same stuff economically, whatever. They're tired of it. They're tired of the insane narratives that are being pushed. They don't like that children are involved in the agendas because we don't have anything against them. We don't care that they're gay. We don't care if you want to dress up. That's what I said. Go have at it. Put on the high heels. Put on the tight stuff. Go ahead and try to get attention out here in an attention economy. Because a lot of them are not pretty. Let's be honest. When you look at them, aren't you feeling kind of sorry? Like you make an ugly woman. Okay? This shit ain't easy. All right? You don't really know how to do this feminine thing real well. You're kind of clumsy in those heels, girl. Felicia. Kind of ugly for a woman. And you can't get angry at the guys for not hollering at you at the club. You can't be mad. You can't force yourself. Remember when you were a guy? You can't force yourself on guys. They're not that into you. So we need to figure out how to help everybody get well again But we're not going to keep going down this road of insanity. We're not. We're not. We're done with it. And the thing is, again, we wouldn't mind it. You can get dressed up. You could love anybody you want. Keep the children out of your shit. That's all we say. Keep the kids out of it. It has to be 2 consenting adults. Period. The end. That's why we're against this. Keep we don't want you reading to the children. Why do you want to read to children so bad? And this has got to stop with these hormone blockers. It's creeping into the children now. This is insane. And the women and the mothers that are doing this, that are committing these crimes against their children, something has to be done. We cannot allow people to harm children. That's where we draw the lines. That's what we hate. Yeah, it is. We hate it. We hate it. I'm not going to mince my words. We hate it. Even prisoners hate it. Prisoners even know better. They have a better system of judgment for people that harm children. You don't believe me? Let's start putting them in the general population of prison and let you get sorted out there. It won't take long. It won't be many tax dollars paid, if you know what I mean. They have the cure for you in prison. They have the cure for pedophilia in prison. They will save the taxpayers a lot of money. And that's how I feel about it. Period. Let me see this lighting. I don't know, people. Oh, I know. Sorry. You know what? I have so much stuff going on here electronically, and that's what happened. I didn't have the source. See, that's the thing, the source. It wasn't plugged into the source. See, there are lessons in everything. Here I'm thinking things are connected, and they're not. Because we need to be plugged into the source. Who is your source? Where do you derive your right and wrong, your laws? Because we clearly see right now that when our laws are derived from the minds of insanely evil children of Satan, we see things like GMO food. Who would have thought of such a thing? GMO food? Leave food alone. Why do you have to touch food? It all, you know what? It all goes back to the garden anyway. It's a garden thing. It just goes back naturally to the garden. A lot of this. So, boy, I've been ranting. I didn't even know how long. You want to hang out a little longer? I had a few more things to say, but I may go live again later because I want to talk about something else. Okay, I have a lot to talk about today. So anyway, I was just saying that we have to get back to organic, natural living. We have to identify the fiction of this matrix, the fiction, and we have to call it out and divest from it. But we have to have a parallel. A parallel. A lot of us are building parallel. We're doing that as I speak. We're building parallel. And I'll talk more about parallel building and things like that, you know, as we get more into the conversations. Magda, well, hello, you're new to the chatmosphere. Let's give a warm welcome to Magda. Magda says food is used against us, makes us mental with all the crap they put. Yes, I mean, it's like at this point, I can't imagine anybody disagreeing with you, Magda, about the food. And food is a part of your security. For all the people that are scared of little viruses and scared of what Fauci and always scared of what's coming out of China, I'll take some takeout. I'm not going front. I do like Chinese food. Listen, it's good, okay? But look, they're trying to gin up a whole nother narrative about China again, another wave of bio stuff. People, as they are starting to wake up and question the current issues going on with the whole bio terrorism, that's what I'm going to call it, bio terrorism, as they're waking up to the bio terrorism, because they didn't want to believe that government could be so wicked. Like, no, not my government. My government loves me. How dare you say anything about my government? When they tell me to do things and promise, bananas and donuts and burgers and spinning the wheel, I believe them. When they're telling you you're fired because you won't do it, you're bad. Of course you should do it. I mean, people are having buyer's remorse, right? It's what it is. All you have to do is get out there and talk and listen and watch. They're done. They're done. They're not going to do another wave of anything. A lot of them are tired. They stopped with booster number, whatever, 50. They're like, no more. I'm not doing 51. You're not going to boost me another day, okay? You're not going to boost nothing over here, okay? So shout out to y'all who said, y'all not boosting me no more. No. Hell to the no, no. That's what you're saying. And I hear you. And I'm right there with you. Right there with you, sis. Bro. But if you want them, have at it. I'm also with you. If you want to keep taking them, boosting yourself, boost, go ahead. You might get a sticker from Pfizer that you're a good customer. You might get a punch card, like when I go to the little local coffee shop. Maybe, you do get punch cards, don't you? For boosting yourself. You get punch cards. Go ahead. Passports and all of that. Go ahead. I'm okay with it. Just don't want me to do it. I don't want to be a part of it. Is that okay? Can we still be cool? Can we still be okay with each other? I respect your choice to get boosted. You have to respect my choice to drink the mud. I got the mud in here. Honey from New Zealand, honey, manuka. Lemons grown here in Georgia. Georgia lemons with no pesticides. So I put the whole lemon skin in here. I got the oil going, right? And I have a little diatomaceous earth. I've got mud in here. Diatomaceous earth. If you could respect that I want to drink mud, I want to drink mud. I got something funny I'll do right on air. I want to do this too, okay? You have to respect me. Respect my choice that you like jabs. This is my jab right here. Hey, this is my jab. Ooh, it's like a gummy bear. Look at it. That's my jab. See that? Looks like a gummy bear. Do you see it? This is my jab. Look. Oh, yum. Tastes like apples. It's apple flavor. Green apple. Yummy. So if you could, this is my jab. You want to respect me? I'll respect your jab, okay? My jab. Yummy. You want some more? That's right, I'm drinking my water. My jab tastes good. Right, Dana? That's what it is, Karen. What Dana put. Sean says I'm looking at a dolphin. I can't do a whinny. What is it called, a whinny? Okay, let me drink a little mud. Don't judge me. All right, that was good. Yes, my gummy bears. My gummy horsies. That's what, oh my God, don't take my idea, okay? I want to make them into like little molds, like little horsey molds. Wouldn't that be great? Where are my chemists? Do I need to call my dad? How can I keep this as a gummy? I want to make it, and I could throw a little bit of other things in it too. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Yes, and I feel fine. Although when I do take that, oh my God, when I do it, I just start walking a certain way. I just have this sort of high stepping. It's something that it does. It's fabulous. That's my experience, okay? I'm not saying it would be the same for you, but it does something. I just want to walk and prance when I take it. So anyway, back to what I was talking about, okay, the craziness. Where was I? Because I got so far off of my base, like a Tennessee Walker. Yes, it must be something. I'm telling you, I'm not joking when I tell you. When I take my gummy, it's something, it does something. It's very majestic. No wonder they're majestic. They're majestic. I want one, by the way. I'm going to get one. I will. Okay, so, where were we? That was way off base. But, okay, so back to Denise. Okay, she probably, if she does know my family, she's probably like, nope, I won't be taking her call. Okay, Denise, come on. I'm with you, sis. All right, Denise was fired. Did I say that already? She was fired the same time that Joe Biden was in St. Croix. Now, Denise had just put in a lawsuit. I didn't say who it was against. Okay, I said she filed a lawsuit with the Southern District of New York. It's kind of a tongue twister. But this was not against, well, she got the flight logs, 20 years of flight logs, and she filed the lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase Bank that facilitated Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking enterprise. Should I say allegedly? Allegedly, JP Morgan. I have a lot of other things to bring against you, JP Morgan, that you did against my people, okay? My tribe, what you did, JP Morgan. Yes, I know what you did. And I'm going to take a petition to the ultimate court against you. So just look for more to come against you, JP Morgan Chase. That's right. We're not scared of you. You don't know my father, my other father, okay? Even that father, yeah. T. George Washington. He's pretty scary too. Y'all know about T. George Washington. He's nobody to mess with, right? Right? Do I need to prove it? All right, so Soon as she puts that lawsuit in, she's fired when Joe Biden reaches St. Croix. I'm not going to get into Joe Biden and his brother and some of their island real estate. Do I need to go there today? No, we'll do it another time, but there is something there. If you see something, say something. So anyway, that's strange. And today is the day that the Brunson brothers, this is their big day. And a lot of us, we are now focused on the Brunson brothers. Some of you were way ahead of I thank you for bringing my attention to the Brunson case. Thank you so much. So we're going to be looking at the things that are important. Now, Epiphany, like I said, the Epiphany for the Ethiopian observation is later this month of January. But I put this image with the children because it was beautiful to me of their processional. Now, out of Ethiopia, we have Tedros, okay? Tedros, we know about Tedros, who heads up the WHO or the WHO. And Tedros is a very bad guy. Yes, I said it, Tedros. You're very bad. And I'm going to put a petition against you because I have put the trumpets against you. You need to repent of what you're doing. Okay, I looked into your background, Tedros. I know who you are. And I saw a picture of you. I saw an alleged picture. Did anybody see back in when we were all getting really like a lot of information in 2020? Did anybody happen to see Tedros in a picture or two? Do you know what I'm talking about? Tedros was in a picture. If it was him, I'll say allegedly. I'll play along. Allegedly, I saw a picture of Tedros, and I agree with you, Bronx Patriot. Tedros is the disgrace of Africa. He is a disgraceful person. He is an embarrassment to me personally. Okay? I'm embarrassed of him. Now, I saw a picture of Tedros, and if it wasn't him, then it wasn't him. The picture said it was him, and it looked like him. Now, it could have been Photoshopped. Let's go ahead with that narrative. It was Photoshopped, okay? So the Photoshop picture, what it showed was Tedros in some Daisy Duke booty shorts, dancing around with a cocktail with a drink in his hand, just doing a wiggly dance somewhere, wiggling. And now they said allegedly that it was on Little St. James Island. That's where the photoshopped picture of the alleged Tedros in the booty shorts wiggling around, allegedly on Little St. James Island. Okay? You starting to see the connections? Starting to see why Denise George would be not Black Boule, I'd say. She's not Black Boule for sure. I have a lot in common with Denise George. We're not Black Boule. Okay? Definitely not. So Tedros is a disgrace. Absolutely a disgrace. Yes, in Daisy Dukes. Can you imagine with his little self? And he was wiggling around with his drink, looking like a creep, allegedly, in this alleged picture that could have been Photoshop, but the intent of the Photoshop was to show Tedros in Daisy Dukes on Epstein Island. Could that be true? Do I need a fact? Can someone fact check it? Was it true? Look, you remember it too? Was it real? Was it a real picture? Desi De La Fay. Who did you say he was at? He was at a hair salon. He was at the hair salon. So you saw. Yeah, I'm just saying. So, these people that hate humanity, hate children, they they tend to hang out in the same places. They vacation the same way. They're into the same stuff. And now you get a clearer picture as to why they're pushing bioterrorism. This is the crowd that hangs out with, what's his name from the WEF, the evil guy that looks like he's straight out of Central Casting for evil guys, Klaus Schwab's. So Klaus Schwab's is he's the leader of one of the groups. So they report to Klaus Schwab's, and these are all the devil's kids. Klaus Schwab's is one of the devil's favorites. He is a teacher's pet. So he's got his little guys running around doing their evil stuff. And Tedros and all of them make these decisions and force it upon people. They have created a one world government. So if you all, this is one of the psyops that they run on the people, is they make you think that this is yet to happen. Oh, they're trying to form a world government. They already have a world government. They already did that. They accomplished it. Okay? While we were sleeping, they have formed their world government. Surprise! Who's shocked? What more do they have to do? They're not going to keep getting these big wins, and things are crumbling all around them. All their plans and schemes are they're stepping on rakes. Everywhere they turn, they're stepping on rakes. They can't enjoy their ill-gotten gain. The soul collector, the bone collector, is collecting souls. If you've been paying attention, have you noticed all of the deletions going on, even self-deletions that are happening we have a death rate right now globally and sorry for flat earther people, look, I use the term globally, okay? I don't know if it's a donut, if it's a pancake. All I know is we need to get these satanic beings under control, okay? We have to get them under control. They have run amok, and we have allowed it. Okay? So they are not winning by any stretch of the imagination. And the death rate right now, the angel of death and his army are collecting a lot of souls right now. The rate of people coming into the world as opposed to leaving the world, it's not the same prior to 2020. It's something has changed. Okay, the math is not mathing. It's different. So we're not going back to normal. Whatever normal was, you don't want to go back to normal. There's no normal. All we're seeing is the true essence of the people that had a mask, that portray different characters on the world stage. But ultimately, everything that they think they're doing and accomplishing, this antichrist hatred for humanity, it's all imploding. They are racking up judgment against themselves. They're just making it worse. It's what it is. And as they're imploding, they're looking more and more stupid, because wisdom doesn't reside with evil. Wisdom and evil cannot reside. They can't reside together. Beauty and evil don't reside together. Creativity and evil do not reside together. That's why they steal. That's why they steal identities. They steal intellectual properties. They have to steal. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, they have to steal. Clive Davis, Sony, they have to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what they do. Now, on the other hand, the natural minded, the natural affection, the ones that want to be lawful and stand upright, want to be, I need to always sit better. You want to stand upright. You want to make sense. You don't like chaos. You want to be able to plant seeds that grow. You want to eat food that has seeds in it. You want to eat food that's your medicine. You don't like taking pills for everything. You don't believe in it. You want raw milk. You want to be able to buy raw milk, by the way. This is just all over the place. Let me tell you about raw milk. Do you mind? Would you like to hear about raw milk? This comes from my friend Jess. And Jess is going to be a guest soon, but she shared this. There's a farm. I didn't look at where it is, but it's called the Blue Goose Farm. And they wrote an article on their website about 5 ways raw milk boosts your health. I'm not giving health advice. I'm just telling you what they're saying. I'm reporting this. Meet your farmer, Robert Nelson. So that's your farmer. 5 ways raw milk boosts your health. Raw milk reduces allergies and asthma because they stop the release of histamines, which are allergic reactions. Raw milk has enzymes that help you digest your food and increase gut health. Gut health, everybody, is your immune system, okay? You know, you can opt to do things like raw milk that they have made illegal. They actually have jailed people from selling raw milk. Why is it that you can't drink raw milk, but you can take an experimental mRNA, so-called, we'll say a jab, jungle juice? You can do that. You can be forced to do that under duress and threat of losing your livelihood, but you can't drink a glass of raw milk legally. Why? If your immune system is in your gut, why would they not want you to have things that will boost your natural immune system? You see the difference? I will let everybody live the way I have no need or desire to control people. I have no interest. If, like I said, if they want to boost themselves all the way to Mars, have at it. I hope you and Pfizer have a beautiful relationship. You and Moderna and Pfizer and AstraZeneca. I hope you really get along great. I myself, I'd rather drink raw milk because I'd rather take my chances on natural immunity in my gut that I can enhance through food. Can I do that, everybody that likes to be boosted? Is that okay? And you can keep boosting yourself till you get to Mars if you want. I will celebrate it for you. But it's mighty strange that raw milk helps your gut health, your immunity, and it's illegal. See, that's where it doesn't matter Democrat, Republican. You have to ask yourself, why is it illegal? Why? That's strange. That should be kind of strange to everybody. I didn't know I was going to do this. I don't know. I'm just going with the leading, okay? It's the spoon. Blame it on the spoon. Okay, so gut health. Then we have raw milk is full of healthy fats. Remember all the fat police about everything in food? Oh, it's the fats. You can't have the fats. Yet we have a population that is fat. And you cut fat out of everything. Something's not making sense. And we need to look into it. All right, so healthy fats such as omega-3 fats. And guess what these omega-3 fats do, everybody? They help prevent cancer. Raw milk, the fats in raw milk help prevent cancer and maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Isn't that interesting? So that takes a lot of money out of big pharma, doesn't it? Cancer. Wow, didn't we see in our cities all these amazing buildings going up next to the janky hospital? They had all these cancer centers everywhere. You are in the regular hospital that looks like janky nastiness, and you open the doors to the cancer center, and it's like you stepped into the, what is it like? It's like you stepped into a 5-star hotel. That's how amazing the cancer centers are. Grady Hospital in Atlanta, you know, the cancer centers make a mint. Exactly. So imagine something as simple as having a diet that consists of raw milk. And this being that the fats in it help prevent cancer and maintain healthy cholesterol. Cholesterol medicine makes lots of money for big pharma. They will throw you on cholesterol medicine just because you walked in. Okay? They play around with the cholesterol numbers, look into it. They tell you all of it's bad when it's not. And again, if they've been reducing fat, it's always fat-free this, fat-free that. Why is this population so obese? See, these are the questions. So we see right now that big pharma has a motivation, I will say, to make sure raw milk is illegal. Do you see how I jumped to that conclusion just now? Just simply jump to a conclusion. All right. Raw milk is good for your skin. Imagine in such a society that is rife with vanity. Imagine raw milk is good for your skin. Wow. So maybe we wouldn't have to put so much goop on our skin. We wouldn't have to put so much makeup on. I'm just saying. You know, when I look at pictures of my relatives, my ancestors, they were way prettier. They were way more handsome. And it wasn't about anything in particular. It wasn't about what a plastic surgeon would consider beauty. But they were beautiful and handsome people. Why? I have my ideas. What do you think? So raw milk is good for your skin. The healthy fats in raw milk hydrate and nourish your skin, Kim Kardashian. Maybe you could have saved some money. Some babies might have been saved. If you are struggling with eczema or severe acne, raw milk will naturally heal your skin and return a healthy glow to your face. There are no added sugars nor synthetic ingredients in fresh raw milk, unlike the stuff you go to the grocery store to buy. So imagine, okay, you're not drinking milk. I'm not saying everybody needs to drink it, but what about all the other things that come from milk? All the dairy products, if you consume dairy. If you have ice cream, imagine your ice cream being made with raw milk. Your yogurt, your butter coming from raw milk. I'm just saying. These are just ideas. So it's illegal. We're dealing with a very inorganic, just the mindset of these people. I don't know if they're human. We can debate. But what is happening at the border of our nation is a crime against humanity. We have the Red Cross involved, which should throw up several red flags. They have just kept everything stays in a state of chaos, emergencies, created emergencies and crises. So you could always have the Red Cross always around. So we have migrants that are coming in from Venezuela. They're coming in from Cuba. They're being stopped, however. They don't want the ones from Venezuela and Cuba. Does anybody know why they don't want? They're starting to send them back, they say, if they are coming from Venezuela and Cuba. I know they don't want them to come from Haiti. They just want to steal the children from Haiti. That's all they want. They want to traffic them for some reason. They don't want them really to come and live here, but they'll exploit them in other ways. So, January 6th, I was there, okay? I went to Washington, D.C. on January 6th of 2020. I was there. I have pictures, I have video. So when I listen to all the propaganda coming out of mainstream narratives, I'm just sitting here like, really? Oh, really? This is what happened. I can talk about that stuff at another time. There's several little things that I picked up while I was there, some, strange goings on. Okay. So it's easy to see. And that's what somebody said when Mark Dice was doing his microphone out in the public. Somebody said they can clearly see that the January 6th thing was it was an infiltration. It was a setup. You had people that were there unaware that anything weird is going on. They're just there with their flags, their patriotism. And then you have other people that blend in because they do this all over the world. They cause instability. This is what the alphabet organizations have been doing all over the world. They set these things up to look a certain way. They infiltrate. They dress like they think they can dress like like Trump supporters. I was looking at people that had MAGA hats on and they had piercings everywhere, tattoos everywhere. They look skinny like they eat soy. They don't drink raw milk. They drink soy milk. And you can tell when someone drinks soy milk. But they had MAGA Trump stuff on. So they're all mixed in. You're watching them mixed in and you're like, something looks weird about that person. And all of these people, they look different. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, even people that are on the Democrat side, you would be able to see that. Even with your, hatred of Trump, you would be able to say, that doesn't look like a real MAGA person. And you really know that the MAGA so-called people are not going around destroying things and terrorizing people. You know deep down in your hearts. They do know. So they know they're being gaslit by now because there's so many things coming down at one time. And if they want to continue with the democratic plantation of control, manipulation, tyranny, that means they're going to have to go along with lies, big lies that they know. And see, that's when everybody has to wake up and start saying, I'm out, okay? I'm off on the next stop, bus driver. I'm off of this crazy bus. And that includes Republicans as well. It's both parties. They are a uniparty at this point. Now, you have people that are infiltrated that are good, though. However, we have to always remind ourselves that everything is not all the devil's. The devil, Satan, and his organization, his corporation, his minions are not, they don't have control of everything. In other words, there is a more than a balance. And we know, because we read the scriptures, the ones that believe them, we know how this ends. We know how it began. We have the beginning and the end. And we realize that we have to go back to the beginning, to the Genesis, to understand the end. You have to go to the beginning to understand the end. You have to go back to the 1800s to understand American history. You have to go back into the mud of the 1800s. And you have to do due diligent research. And you have to have the epiphanies that will happen when you ask the Father for wisdom to sort it out. Now, you're not going to get it all right every time, because we are human and we have failings. But the Father has presented enough evidence on this world. In this world, He's provided documentations. Hey, it's not illegal to have books. Do you see this? I have books. Remember they said the Bible was going to be illegal? I must be a real, rebel, because I have one of these illegal books. Don't you? So don't buy into the fear. They want to make sure these are illegal. We should be more offended at that than them wanting to take a gun away, take a book away. Please try it. They know they can't do that. They can't encroach on us that much. So I'm realizing that this border issue is, look, the guy that is going to have the crime on his hands is Joe Biden. And when you look at his genesis, a career criminal that he is, an absolute criminal family, and criminal, like his son alone is the most ghetto. Like he is a gutter snipe, his son. His son is a baby daddy. He's a deadbeat father and a crackhead. And I don't even have to say allegedly. That's the beauty of it. I'm not alleged anything. This is what it is. Girl Code, you're here. Welcome, girl. I'm just raging on, Girl Code. This is another long one. What are you saying, sissy? Welcome. Hey, Tanny. If you can hear me. Hi, Tanny. I hope you're having a good day, Tanny. All right. Girl Code said, Baphomet head, women's ovaries, same depiction. These devils have zero creativity. There you are. They have zero and their Baphomet stuff. Don't be scared of that crap. Laugh at it, okay? Laugh. They are a laughing stock. They really are a laughing stock. The more they go towards evil, the more they manifest what's really in their hearts and minds. They're having a field day, even though their life is not fulfilling, but they're having a field day with the mask off. You know, they're doing a lot out in the open. In other words, this is the last hurrah. You know, this is the last dance. Last dance. for them. They know it's the last dance, baby. This is it. They got to get them steps together. Go ahead and step in the name of love. Go ahead to your R. Kelly music, okay? R. Kelly, look at that. R. Kelly. You know, R. Kelly, he's another big one that went down. You know, what he did to Aaliyah, a child, marrying a child. And people will defend these people. That's what's very disturbing right now. We have actual people that are defending the pedophiles. They're having a hard time believing that their faves can be so degenerate. That's the word, degenerate. It's hard to believe when you have a favorite person, favorite uncle, cousin, and you have to learn that they did things to kids. They have a history. And you have to come to terms. Maybe you know them in a different way. You like them. But when the receipts start coming out that they're trafficking children and you want to defend it, it's a choice. Everybody gets a choice, but the information is going to be right there. It's not going to be hidden anymore. Has anybody guessed that already? That the pedophiles are being exposed at this time? Whatever they did and got away with before 2020, it's not the same. And these crimes against children, millstones, everyone, millstones, okay? Millstones. You get a millstone. You get a millstone, Oprah. Yeah, we know about you. Your school in Africa. Yeah. You're not on the world stage like you used to be, Oprah. Why? Why, Oprah? Why, Beyonce? Why are you not on the world stage like you used to be? We haven't heard a lot from you gals since 2020 rolled in. You don't have that big energy anymore in the world. You feel like you're kind of diminished. The light has gone dim. That's what I'll say. The light has gone dim, Beyonce. The light has gone dim, Oprah, hasn't it? Kind of dim. Speaking of which, I was looking today. I had a you know how you have like a makeup mirror? So I had a makeup mirror. Let me show you. Where is it? Okay. You know these makeup mirrors, okay? These makeup mirrors, you know what I'm saying? You have the real like close up, but yet it's kind of concave. So it was set up right in front of me earlier. I pushed it back and I looked at it, and my reflection, my image in the mirror was upside down. Okay? Anybody who's really good at science, physics, tell me, why was my image in the mirror upside down? I was looking at it and I said, that's interesting. So I wrote something because it's always like a teachable moment. So I said, my reflection in a concave, I hope I'm using the right term, concave mirror is upside down. And something was spoken to me about this in a teachable moment, in an aha moment. I said, distorted vision will reflect back a distorted truth. I'll read that again. A distorted vision will reflect back a distorted truth. And I said, I will petition the Father to provide a remedy for vision correction and reflect back truth rooted in law, natural, organic law. So that's something that is an ongoing petition. You know, we have to want wisdom. And sometimes when we ask, like, to have a vision correction from a distorted, it's like just something as simple as a reflection that just is distorted for some reason. And it can make everything upside down. Like I saw myself, it was upside down. And that's what happens when it's not grounded in, when we're not grounded in reality, in truth, in law, natural, organic law. Because natural, organic law comes from God. And things that make sense, that are wise, that are beautiful, that are noble, honorable, not lawless. Now, Joe Biden knows that it's lawless to allow borders to be open and just people are breaking the law. Now, these people, I know that some of them are children. They're being, put in a position. Of course, they can't help it. I'm not holding the children to the same standard as the adults. But they're breaking laws, coming into a country. Whenever I've lived abroad in another nation, whenever I've traveled to another country, I respect their laws. I respect their customs. If I've lived in a country, I've lived in Italy, I've lived in other countries, I go by what their laws are. If they say I can only stay in their country a certain amount of time because I was working in Milan, Italy, I had to abide by their laws. And I couldn't overstay. I had to do certain things that I had to abide, and I wanted to. But when you break into a nation, it is not going to work out well. Now, a lot of these people, these migrants, they are catching hell for breaking our laws. They are breaking God's laws. And when they come here, now they are on the street, some of them. They are living like homeless people, living right there in tents. Some of them are living in hotels. And I know a lot of people are very offended because we have veterans of wars that are living in tents on Skid Row in LA and all over. You go to Kensington in Philadelphia. You probably have some veterans of wars that are walking around looking like, it looks like Michael Jackson Thriller set. It's a disgrace. Philadelphia is a disgrace. It's a lawless, democratic hellhole, Philadelphia. I said it. Yes, Philly. I might be from you, and I love a lot of things about Philadelphia, but you're a disgraceful city. And woe to all the leaders down there in corrupt City Hall. Corrupt to the core. And your sin and crime will find you for what you've done to such a great American city like Philadelphia. It is a disgrace, and it hurts my heart because of all the rich history. The very first things coming out of Philadelphia. But Philadelphia, you are not the city of brotherly love. You are not. You've lost your light, and you got to be cleaned up. You're going to catch judgment. That's what Kensington is. Just go and look at the judgment of Philadelphia. It's right there in Kensington. Yep. And they just had a home blow up, a couple of homes blow up. Philadelphia. Let me get on to Philadelphia a minute. We're going to be here a while, everybody. Just get your beverages. Why not? Recently, there was a weird thing happened in Philadelphia. A couple of houses blew up. Weird. You know how the houses are in a lot of the areas of Philadelphia. Very similar to Boston, Sissy City. Got Baltimore. Baltimore is Philadelphia's ugly sister. Boston is Philadelphia's pretty sister, and New York is Philadelphia's sister they wish they could be. So, Philadelphia has got another black eye on their record. So, why is it that homes are blowing up in a city like Philadelphia? If you recall, back in the 80s, I believe 1983, 84, possibly, there was another neighborhood. Actually, a whole neighborhood was blown up in Philadelphia. They blew up a group called Move. Okay, they didn't like this group. This group, I don't know. I might think that I need to look into Move because I only heard a narrative. I was a Democrat back then and I used to listen to the news and I believed everything. But the narrative was this group was they're outside of the law. They don't deserve to be around. They had a home in this area of West Philly called Osage Street. And they had locks. They wore their hair in locks. They were more natural, I guess, kind of naturally kind of people. Their kids running around, maybe, I don't know. Maybe people didn't like the way they were living. And suddenly, on the watch of a black mayor, the irony is this mayor's name was Wilson Good. Mayor Good. A black man. Okay? A black guy. So the ones that always want to talk about all the racism, on the watch of a black man, a whole neighborhood of black people in Philadelphia was blown up. Blown up, everybody. That's a very disgraceful chapter in American history, not just Philadelphia, America. How is it that neighborhoods are blowing up? I think they've always done these kind of things. This is how it happened when this country was taken from a republic to a democracy. The way that they were able to take over our government, a republic, was they did it through terrorism of all kinds, physical terrorism, hanging people, hanging the heads of leaders, heads of family, hanging them from trees. Yeah, that's what they did. Strange fruit. They were flooding cities, blowing up cities. That the thing that they did to Move and other things, I guess you might call the Branch Davidians and all kinds of, we could bring up lots of different things and look back into these things. But they blew up people from this land, on this land, and still doing this terrorism. They just found a different way to do it. But when they rage, when the heathen rages about their democracy under assault, that is why. Their democracy is a nightmare to a natural-minded person. It's an absolute clown show. To me, who believes a woman is more than high heels, a wig, and ugly makeup. A woman is much more. I will not ever accept that what they are telling me is a woman. I'll never accept it. Never! Period. And we have to make sure we continue speaking because the children are the ones, they know I'm never going to accept it. That's why they try to get rid of my generation and older generations. They want the children. They got them all crazy in the head. And these crazy mothers that want their children on hormone blockers. They want this. I saw a woman She was encouraging her little boy to dress up. He was only 7 or 8. You probably saw it. She was coaching him and putting him on social media so she can get clout because she's a woke mother. These are crimes. And this goes right along with why they want to make January 6th a horrible thing. They are saying that it's worse than 9/11. Meanwhile, like I said, you could look up Mark Dice and he's asking people, just random people. They're like, what is it? It's nothing. But I'll assure you that 9/11, you couldn't have had the same response. Everybody was shaken by that. So it lets you know how desperate and how much their matrix is falling apart because we are not believing it. We're not buying into it. People are going around just like whatever. You know how they say, as the days of Noah, we still have people that don't know how utterly dire the circumstances are for this nation here, America. They're going around doing things like they normally would. They have no idea. They have no idea the judgment that America is under. They want Disney World type of reality too. They don't want consequences. They just want us to ride off into the sunset. Never mind the millions of babies, blood that is on all of our hands, all of us. If you've ever paid taxes, if you've never gone in front of an abortion mill and ever prayed, just prayed. If you've never never had a care. And millions of human beings have been slaughtered in the womb. On the altar of Moloch, which they made their god. Their democracy, the god of their democracy is Moloch. That's the god that they serve. Some of them don't realize they're serving that god. And they have a warning. They don't have a lot of time. Stupidity will be met with the same judgment as someone who just did it willingly. There's no special ticket out for being stupid and dumb, being a crash test dummy, an NPC. Going along with an agenda that can call evil good. Woe to them. That's all I have to say. Woe to them. So this Joe Biden, he's a bad dude. He's worse than we think. This dude, he authored the 1994 crime bill, which is, you might as well call it human trafficking under another name. It's human trafficking by another name. Joe Biden is the number one human trafficker. Number one. And I'm saying that based on the 1994 crime bill. So that was an epiphany to me. Another epiphany came to me when I read, and you could do, it's a FOIA thing, Freedom of Information. There is something that the FBI had some documentation that JFK Jr. had written a letter to Joe Biden when he was senator back in his senator days, okay? So this would be back in the 90s. JFK Jr. wrote a letter that was taken as a threat. And he said, Joe Biden, you are a traitor. You are a traitor. And that's what I remember. I could bring it up and show you another time, but we talked about this. It was on my old channel. I went over, because you can look, it's like I said, you can look it up under the FBI vault under Freedom of Information, a FOIA request. You saw the letter, Sean? And they took it as like the FBI had to do an investigation of JFK Jr. because they thought it was a threat against Joe Biden. And they determined that, of course, they didn't arrest JFK Jr., but I think it was determined that it was a letter from him. But it was really like coming at Joe. And now that I think back and remember this letter, I'm having an epiphany that something was being said deeper than, a traitor is a horrible person. Treason is serious. And treason is punishable by death. That's how serious a republic is. Now, a democracy is a mob rule criminal cartel that those that are the biggest bullies, the greediest, most lawless, they rule like a mob. And a democracy is an ungodly, lawless system, corrupt, rewarding corruption, and propagandizing people to control their thoughts and their minds so they can keep them in a imbalance and upside down clown world. And that is why we are a threat to their democracy. That's why that's why the heathen rages and the banshee rages, because they don't want their democracy to die. But it's already dead. It's a corporation. It's dead already. It was dead on arrival. And they can't do anything to prop it up anymore. It's weekend at Bernie's. It's Joe Biden is your president. That's what it is. An old criminal. But he has fans. That lets you know, like, people like him. And the only way to explain that for myself and to understand it is when in the Bible it says, God will turn them over to a reprobate mind. So let me look up reprobate. Remind myself, what is a reprobate? Because that's what we're seeing. Anybody who can keep backing evil and be on the wrong side all the time, who want to tell us that abortions are health care, who want to tell us that little boys should take hormone blockers, and girls, and they tell us that this is good, and we're supposed to zip it up and just go along with it. No, we have an obligation to speak. That is a human right that derives from God. So a reprobate is a morally unprincipled person, one who is predestined to damnation. They are unworthy, unacceptable, and evil. Drug dealing, a scoundrel, a rogue. These are all, they're degraded, sick, depraved, degenerate. I use degenerate so much. They are dissolute, perverted, wanting to drag queens to read to children in libraries. That's perversion. They are crooked, wicked, worthless, rejected, confused. I think that covers it, huh? Anybody need another word? Reprobate. Use it in a sentence. Okay, so, yep, it's time to get away from these parties and do not be a party to evil. Evildoers are going to reap the harvest of evil doing. This is the time right now. This is the great harvest. Lots of souls are leaving this realm. Lots. And the lies just compound. They keep wanting to gaslight us. Yeah, he was hit hard. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. He was hit that hard. Yep, happens every day. All the time. How long have you had the NBA? The NFL? I don't care. All these sports need to just I know the manosphere hates us, but sports are stupid. I don't care. If you don't like it, get over it. Find something else. Because it's all gonna fall to hell anyway. You think it's gonna stand? Sports. Really? You think this is gonna keep going on? Gladiator stuff, Roman culture. You think football players they live a good life after their very short career? That's okay? All for your enjoyment? You don't care about these men later on? Most of them die poor, right? You don't care. You don't care about boxers getting hit in the head. You just give me more sports. Give me more bread and circus. Do we really care? Your brother's keeper? You want to just keep getting entertained, watching people destroy their health, their wealth being destroyed. Yeah, nobody wants to come around and get your autograph when you're beaten up and you're nothing but a vegetable in the bed. I've taken care of these guys when they become vegetables. Oh, it's no love then. Nobody cares about them. It's just me, the nurse, washing their butt, talking to them, spending as much time as you can, giving them attention, love. No, they don't care about them. All the fanfare is gone then. You just want to be entertained for the moment. That's okay, huh? Guess so. Let's listen to something. We're still hanging out. So January 6th, everybody, the Epiphany. Aha. Let's listen to something right here. Hopefully this guy won't. He's called the Black Conservative. Black Conservative, I hope you let me do fair use, okay? Because I tried to find the clip, but I couldn't find it. Of course they make things see. But let's listen to President Donald J. Trump. Listen to this message, okay? This Black Conservative titled this, Donald Trump just declared war on the cartels if elected president.
Heroin and other lethal drugs are pouring along the border, stealing hundreds of thousands of beautiful American lives. It's happening like never before in our history. Children are being left without parents. Families are being ripped apart. Communities are being decimated. Our neighbors and fellow citizens are having their entire worlds destroyed like nobody thought possible. Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major, major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate. And just as like the situation we're in today, we had a very, very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country. And drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day, drug traffickers are using the waters of our region to ship their lethal poisons to America, killing so many of our people and ruining families. In addition to restoring strong border security, I will deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose the full naval embargo on the cartels. I did that before, and it worked. What we did was incredible. We will guarantee that the waters of the Western Hemisphere are not used to traffic illicit drugs to our country. Furthermore, I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. I will designate the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. We will sever their access to global financial systems. I will also work to forge an unprecedented partnership with neighboring governments in our region, just like I did in Mexico. And remember, in Mexico alone, an estimated 100,000 civilians have been tragically murdered or gone missing at the hands of these cartels. The Mexican government, run by a very fine man, the president, is really working hard, but it's not working out. Cartels are vicious and they're violent, and they have Mexico for now stymied. Well, we have to help Mexico, and we have to stymie the cartels. Either we will get the full cooperation of other governments to stop this mess, or we will expose every bribe, every kickback, every payoff, and every bit of corruption that is allowing the cartels to preserve their brutal reign. And it is indeed brutal. Finally, as I have said before, I will ask Congress to pass legislation ensuring that drug smugglers and human traffickers receive the death penalty. The drug cartels and their Biden administration have the blood of countless millions on their hands. Millions and millions of families and people are being destroyed. When I'm back in the White House, the drug kingpins and vicious traffickers will never sleep soundly again. We did it once, and we did it better than any else. There's been a better book that we had just 2 years ago. It was strong, it was powerful, and it was respected all over the world. And now we're laughed at all over the world. And we're not going to let that happen much longer. We have to take over. We have to be tough. We have to be smart. We have to be fair. But if we don't do something immediately, our country is gone.
Okay, so I don't know how you all feel about that message. It's a pretty strong message, and I said that it sounds like some strong, like, testosterone coming from that message, and it sounds very, what's the word? Very assured. So tell me what you're thinking. He says the death penalty for trafficking. The death penalty. And if you want to stick around, let me see, I'll read from the, do you want me to read the the executive order against the trafficking in of people. Maybe I'll do that at another time. I will read that executive order for you. Does anybody know the number for that executive order? Because when I looked it up, I thought it had one number, but they say that the executive order is number, let's see, they have a 13. I know it starts with 1-3. Boss lady, is it your birthday? Oh my goodness, boss lady, welcome. Happy birthday. We need action. Yes. I want to say again, the people that I referenced, you have Denise George, the district attorney down in U.S. Virgin Islands, rather. That's action. For her to demand 20 years of the Epstein flight logs, and for her to file a lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase banking cartel for their role in facilitating Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking enterprise, Denise George did action. She put action. And also you have people that are putting action. So let's just know, like Rollin and his brothers, the Brunson brothers, that is action. So we have to thank people that are doing things. They're doing big things. The thing about, even though Denise George was fired, she made an impact. She made an impact, and he'll continue the work of exposing and bringing down the human traffickers, the cartels of crime, the fentanyl dealers. So there is action. We want to see more. What I was saying earlier, I think that even me wanting to see more elaborate, over-the-top, dramatic action, I didn't know what I was asking for truly, because it would destabilize things so much that the way that it's happening, it's unraveling. It's just like I made this little shrug. I used to make them a lot, but I had some extra yarn, and I made this little shrug that is nice and warm. Like, you don't need to have a big like sweater, but it's just, it's like a short little shrug. See? And I have a picture actually with one of the shrugs that I made. So when you have a piece of work that you're, fiber, and the unraveling that could happen, okay? The cat can unravel things, which she did. I had a friend whose dog unraveled something, and just all the things that can happen. That's what's happening. The fabric of the integrity of their system is unraveling. There's some people that can repair the fiber and bring the integrity back, but when it's not made with good material, it doesn't have a good foundation. It's made with flimsy yarn and bad construction. It will not last. And that's what's happening, the unraveling. We're watching this criminal antichrist system unravel. And I don't think personally that it would have been good to watch it happen quickly, if you get what I'm saying. It was more gracious happen like it is. Queenie's World, welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Sean, let the truth spill out. I mean, look at this picture right here, Joe Biden, when he had the people were at the border with Biden, let us in, please let us in. And they had Biden shirts. Look at them kneeling. They're doing the whole BLM. They were trying to do whatever. They wanted in. So they say, what do you want us to do, Biden? You want us to vote for you again? You and Kamali? Although I don't know if he wants Kamala for his vice president. She is quite a liability, I'll say. He probably would want, if he runs again, wouldn't he want someone like weirdo governor of California? I think they're trying to run that creep, right? Yeah, it's called a shrug. That's right. Thank you, Queenie. You love my shrug. Thanks a lot. Yes, it's fun. They're fun to make with extra yarn that you have laying around. Um, but yeah, this crime against humanity, it just made me think of this ghoul right here and the whole Balenciaga crowd. The Kardashians, I did not realize how powerful they were, how much they control media. They are like the tentacles of the Kardashian family. It is something I know people don't want to hear about them, but we need to deconstruct their grip on information, on narratives. And it appears that they're involved in a lot of shady business, a lot of things that could be called crime. And it doesn't pay, Kim. It doesn't pay. You're wrapped up. She's so sold out to this fake matrix that she would think that it was okay for a dumb designer with his stupid, degenerate ideas. Oh, it'd be a good idea to wrap you up in crime tape that says, is this the one that spells Balenciaga like Baal, B-A-A? But isn't this a stupid idea? It has no beauty, no creativity. And this is what the fake, look at the fake derriere that she's made a fortune off of. Now she's skinny and she took all of that inflation down, deflated herself. But look at it. If she wants to be she's now the spokesperson. She can't even get away from it. She sold herself out that much that she ended up walking on the biggest rake possible. This is a woman who climbed her way up, sleeping with black men. Her whole family, just about, they use black men as a battery to monetize and to get into the cookout, to get access so they could monetize, because that's the only way they could have done it. Because white society wouldn't have accepted them as a standard of beauty. So what do? They whore themselves out, get plastic surgery. Now she's linked to Balenciaga. She desperately tried to go on urban radio with Angie Martinez to spin a narrative because the black people, the black community is done with the Kardashians. Done. And Kim Kardashian is the kind of white woman that once she realizes that the black guys, it's over now for that, she has gone against, even though she says she protects Kanye, I protect him. He doesn't need your protection, Kim. You can't even protect yourself and your own children, which you are now monetizing and putting them on the world stage to be used. We see through it, Kim, and your family is going down with the matrix. You have lost control of the narrative. No amount of media spin, paying the TMZ off, no amount of anything anymore is going to work. You're done. Look at you with your big fake ass wrapped up in crime tape because you're a criminal. You are a criminal. And the irony is you think you're getting criminals who are unjustly put in prison. You're supposedly helping them out. I think I know why you want to learn to be a lawyer, so you can learn how to break the laws and create lawless cases and whatever. You want to learn how to be a better criminal. But that type of lawlessness is not working out anymore. You'll be able to enjoy your private jet and all the things for a little while longer. But God will not be mocked. And you want to dress up in crime tape as we are, you didn't want to speak out against Balenciaga like you should have. You care more about money. And now your image is trashed. It's trash. You can't go on urban radio and plead for nothing because you're a fake Valley girl. You sound crazy. And now the image is of you in this crime tape and you with a black all mask on. It's over. You can't come back from it. It's over. It's done. You can't get a white guy at this point because they don't want you after you've been, smutted out by black men. They don't want you. Elon Musk doesn't want you. You couldn't pay a man to become your husband at this point. It sounds like Corey has escaped from your mother, possibly, allegedly. Maybe he has gotten out, get out. Kanye said that was a documentary film, Get Out, based on his life and the Kardashians. So we're watching, I could say a lot about what this whole appropriation of black women's bodies, black and Latinos women's bodies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Armenians, they have a little bit of, but not like this. This is like a caricature. And she thinks that she made friends in the black community. No, you haven't, Kim Kardashian. You've not made friends. We remember how your family has treated everybody, the friends around, the workers, the little minion women, those twins. We saw Chloe with black women on chains while she's dressed as a pimp. We have pictures. We know what you guys are about. You're not going to gaslight us, who you consider black. You're not going to continue your crimes, your theft and appropriation. And no, you're not going to just become a nice, respectable white woman. We're not going to let you become a nice, respectable white woman and get a nice white husband. White men, don't date her. Okay? That's my little suggestion. Stay away from her. Because she just wants to use you because she's done with black people. She's deflated her butt. She wants a nice little flat, more flatter, little deflated. She wants to get another victim. Elon Musk, I suggest you stick to all those long hours that you're working and you stay away from this 304, this Babylonian 304. She's going down. Oops. You know what I mean. Anyway, what else is going on? What else, everybody? I've said enough. Oh my God, Girl Code said Kardashians, aka Smuts are us. Yeah. All that, listen, the horror culture is over. Okay. You have stupid Cardi B. She's on something. Hey, I have to spend $7 on groceries. Oh, the groceries are so expensive. Cardi B, of all people. She's complaining about the cost of groceries. Where we might need to remind her, sis, we're not going to forgive you for being a pawn for Joe Biden. Okay? We're not going to forget when you were out there saying, oh, what was she saying? COVID, what was the name they first called it? Corona. It's real, y'all. Remember, it's real. She's been used as such a puppet. We know, Cardi. We know. You're no better. You drug men. Nobody's standing up for that. We don't give you a pass. Your pass is going to catch up to you. Yeah, Rob. Allegedly, if you haven't heard, Rob Kardashian allegedly attempted to delete himself recently while they were having this gala for Christmas with red Christmas trees that looked like they were in hell. You know, their gowns and everything. Meanwhile, allegedly, the brother is fighting for his life because he tried to delete himself. And the only people covering it is some kind of blogger out of France. A blogger. This is how much control this family has over the media. That they can black out. Notice the word black out. They can black out a story. So possibly this is what's going on. The brother is under such duress that he would try to delete himself, allegedly. You know, being a man around this type of toxic femininity, they are an example of the modern woman. Toxic femininity. It's just as disgusting as toxic masculinity. And I know a lot of you might support, we had somebody in the chatmosphere that said, free Andrew Tate. Okay. The thing about Andrew Tate, you know, he does the cam models. He has the women in the, you know, they're in the lingerie, you know, cam girls. And he was seen allegedly, I don't know if it was Andrew Tate. It sounded like him. Everything sounded like him. Maybe they could fake this stuff. I don't know, for the Andrew Tate fans. But he was slapping this woman around, slapping her around, treating her like trash. And the explanation for this is that it's part of role playing. It's part of role playing. This is how they make money, pretending to be slapped. S&M. See, this is the thing, everybody. If you're caught up in this kind of stuff, just know this is not natural affection. It's like having a record, okay? A record. Have you ever seen a warped record? Okay, you see how this record is straight? Needs to be dusted off. But you see how the record is flat. Okay, flat. Have you ever seen a warped record? A warped record is like, it has like waves. And when you play it, it can't play music well. It's warped. So when you like to consume the stuff that Andrew Tate does, his other proclivities where he does the cam modeling content, and he's slapping a bitch around like a pimp. If that's entertaining to you and you have a kink that you can get off watching someone abuse another person and you participate in these things, yes, Atlanta, I got some goods on Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. You know, I told you all this once when I worked in Atlanta. I worked in a trauma center, Grady. One of the doctors, I won't name your name, one of the doctors, he was real popular, real handsome, you know, looked like a football player, like he was maybe a football player in college, handsome guy, young doctor, you know, trauma doctor. And he would have a party every year. And you would want to be invited to his party. So one day he thought, I was in the trauma bay, I was doing something, and he approached me and he invited me to his party. You know what the name of the party was? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody from the ATL know what I'm talking about? A party that happens every year if you're in the in crowd. What's the name of it? Anybody? Let's see. Oh, I'm sure that ATL people don't even watch me. Anyway, I'll tell you. It's called the Pimps and the Hoes. The Pimp and Hoe Party. Okay? And when he invited me to the Pimp and Hoe Party, I was taken aback. I was like, wow, doctor. Really? I was so shocked. Okay? But I had to decline. I will RSVP. No. Thank you anyway. And then I had to reevaluate, what is it? What am I doing? Because I must be doing something wrong here. That somebody is inviting me to a pimp and hoe party. What am I putting out into the universe, as you guys like to say? What kind of vibes am I sending to this doctor? Because I don't want to send the kind of vibes that I get a second invitation to the pimp and hoe party. No, thank you. Not interested. I heard a lot about the pimp and hoe parties. I know other doctors. I won't name any of the names of the Black Boule. I won't put their names out there. But there's another one who has parties. And, you know, you're invited to the first party, and then you might not be be retained for the second part of the party, which involves things, okay? So Atlanta is a hotbed. It is the Black Hollywood, the Black Boule playground. And it's a lot of human trafficking going on. Lots of low-level pimps that have harems all over Atlanta. They treat women like absolute trash. And this whole pornography industry, if you're caught up in pornography, you have an addiction to it, just know that Satan planned for that. Satan planned to warp you. Like I said with this record, Satan planned to warp your natural affection for women. And women are now watching porn at high numbers, so it's not just men. Women, you too. You like to follow behind Candy and her sex toys. This is cute. The women are now having sex toy parties instead of Tupperware parties like they had when I was growing up. I can't imagine if my aunties were having a sex toy party and the kids are around. What are you making, deviled eggs and things, getting the party ready for the girls to come? The women rather, I hope not girls, come to your sex toy party? Really? This is what is now normalized. You know, this is the Babylonian 304 culture. I don't think it's good. God doesn't think it's good. It's not good for the soul. And the industry abuses and exploits children. That's why anybody addicted to pornography has to fervently pray for deliverance, because it is killing your natural affection. You will hate women. That's why we have this manosphere that is just weaponized. They hate women. They hate women. They don't have a natural affection for women. They're brutes. They're abusive. I have a lot of them in my family, abusive men. They treat their women, their girlfriends and wives like dogs. I've watched it. I've got a cousin, he's so abusive. More than one. Abusive. I had an uncle who passed away, so abusive to women. I witnessed him being abusive, talking so greasy. And he was a broke down, hit the wall. He hit the wall, bounced off the wall, and hit it 5 more times. And he had the nerve and audacity to treat a woman like a dog. He was lucky to even, listen, this is a man, like I said, who hit the wall, bounced off, hit it 5 more times. But guess what? They could always come up on a woman. They could always find a woman that'll take them in and take care of them. They could have 2 teeth. 2 teeth on opposite sides of their mouth. They could still get a woman. And that's what he did. He got a woman who used to be in love with him when my uncle was like Hollywood, like he literally worked in Hollywood. He worked with Steven Spielberg. He was a gaffer. He traveled all over the world. I'm starting to wonder what other kind of films he might have done extracurricularly, because his mind was so warped. So warped. He went out to Hollywood and changed. You can cue up Shaka Khan. He's on his way. He's moving to Hollywood. Right? All those broken dreams. Yeah, he was a very handsome man. A trumpet player. Oh, yeah. My uncle only liked white girls, okay? Let's be real. He didn't like black girls. He only liked white girls, and he only dated white girls that were blue blood white girls. Graduate from Harvard. He didn't mess with just any regular schmegular white girls. He messed with the blue blood white girls and still treated them like crap. He found one as he was on his decline. He found one that took him in and treated him like a king, like a king. She used to cook. She cooked soul food too. And she had a business in her home and, just grew food, outside on the deck. Nice stuff, okay? But she gave him a place to land, his last landing before he dipped up out of here. And I was over one day, Sausalito. They lived in Sausalito. There were those kind of people. And here he is talking to this woman like a dog in front of me. And I looked at him like, are you serious? Like, I didn't approve of that. You're not going to do that in front of me. Talk to her like a dog. She feeds you. She makes meals, hot meals for you. And he wants to talk nasty to her. I had to take up for sis. I was like, you're not going to do that. I'm siding with sis right now. But that's the thing, I don't care if a person is my relative. I'm not going to stand by the abuse. I've been downtown Philadelphia, another cousin who went through women like toilet paper. One of his ex-girlfriends I was on Walnut Street. I was somewhere like Walnut and wherever, 20th and Walnut. I come around the corner. I spot her. Can you imagine how terrible this is? I spot sis coming and she looked crazy. He turns them. They'll be normal, nice jobs, all their teeth, just beautiful hair. After he gets through with them, their hair changes textures. They look gray. They lost some teeth. They're in a crack house. You got to find them. This is the legacy. And this woman comes around the corner and she's like, she spots me and I'm like, oh my God. You know that moment when you see somebody, you're like, I can't do anything. I can't run. I can't act like I can't get on the phone and act like I don't see her. She went honed right into me. She was like, Jennifer. I was like, oh, hey girl. You know how you doing? I hug her and she goes into this tirade about what my cousin was doing to her life. All I could do, I apologize on behalf of the family. I let her know I don't stand by it, okay? If I could pay you a reparation, if I had a reparation to pay you, I would pay you one. Because I know he did this. I believe everything you said, including what he did to your cat. I believe it. I believe you. You don't have to bring a receipt, nothing. That's how bad and abusive some of the men in my family are. Abusers. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I believe it has a direct correlation to this pornography addiction, this pornography culture. Them probably growing up watching blaxploitation movies, Coffee, Superfly, Shaft. You could throw them in there. You probably enjoyed the blaxploitation. Hell, they saved Hollywood. Did you know that? That's a segment for Negrescents. But yeah, Hollywood was already dying back in the late, the 70s when all the blaxploitation. Did you know Hollywood was dead? You know what revived Hollywood was blaxploitation movies. It literally, and I think maybe all the Bruce Lee movies. Because people were not going to the theaters. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the economy, probably, because they always do these cycles of bringing the economy down. So they were probably playing around the banking cartels. And people were not going to the theaters. The theaters were closing down. And what saved Hollywood was blaxploitation movies about pimps and hoes. That says a lot about Hollywood, doesn't it? It says a lot about Hollywood. But if you think about having that programming of pimps, and you have people that treat women and they act like pimps. They take away the value, the self-esteem. They exploit. Some of them even sell their women to their friends. I went to high school in Philadelphia, Germantown High School. And there was one of the most beautiful girls. I mean, she was so beautiful, naturally beautiful woman. And she dated one of the real, he was one of those real, he was the guy, the dressing. He had the Paul Mary jeans. I told you about the Paul Mary jeans. This was like an Italian tailor who made jeans for all the gangster guys, the drug boys. And these jeans were very expensive, custom made. And he wore all that custom made shirts and everything. He would never approve of my fashion. They're designer. And I found out that he was running this beautiful woman. He was running her as a prostitute. Can you imagine in high school? He had a prostitution business. And they were having private parties. I mean, I guess he would send her to homes. And they were making a lot of money. And when I learned this, because I looked up to this girl, she was, when I say beautiful, I can't even explain to you, just the most natural beauty. She had the best haircut. I guess with all the money they were making, she could wear all the designer, all the latest everything, the haircut. Back then we had all the asymmetrical haircuts and she was getting her haircut nice, beautiful styles. in high school. And I didn't get to wear all the kind of stuff and get into that stuff. My mother, she loved to dress me, but it was all her choices. I didn't get to choose the clothes. But I might have thought that some of these people had it better than me, because they look like, you look at them and they look like they're really enjoying life. They have all these material things, and you think they really are like better. Only to learn, like, I'm learning that this girl is being prostituted. This beautiful woman, young woman. And it really hurt me. It hurt me to my core when I learned this, because I was very, very naive. I didn't know about a lot of this stuff going on. I couldn't believe it. And just if that was happening on a microcosm, imagine, like I said, in Atlanta, you have little harems all over Atlanta. You have sex parties all the time in Atlanta. They have sex parties that are notorious. They make the sex parties in LA and Hollywood look like nothing. Atlanta has, I think it's surpassed Hollywood in debauchery. I really do. Because remember, as a nurse, I see the other side. I see when the party is over, when somebody's been drugged a bit too much, or when somebody needs to have a sphincter repaired. Yeah. A sphincter repaired. They do them at Grady. They're known for doing sphincter repairs at Grady. And I won't get too graphic, but I happen to have another side of knowing. When I worked at Cedars-Sinai, the girls coming in from working off the poles in Hollywood. And yeah, they have all the material stuff. It looks real good. They got, all the things you could want in this world. But the one thing they don't have freedom. They don't have freedom. And their very being, their soul, is attached to so many men. You've heard about that stuff. So many men. The body count is so high. And yeah, they don't care about the woman once she hit the wall. Once she hit the wall and she's used up high body count. You got Amber Rose, who's from Philadelphia, where I'm from. She's now having regrets about being a 304. She's complaining on some podcast about, she went off on the guys because she wants, she thinks that things are equal between men and women. They're not, women. You can't go out and be a 304 and then decide, oh, now I want to date Elon Musk. I want to deflate my butt and try to go after Elon Musk now. Now that you've been smutted out by everybody, every black guy that you could get. Now you think you're going to get a high value white guy. No, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And so now you got these 304s realize that there wasn't a good retirement plan for being a 304. You don't get to ride off in your private jet and be honorable. You can't derive honor out of that. They have a hotel in Atlanta. I forget the name of it. But my dad jokes around about it. See, if you know real Atlanta history, not you new Atlanteans, you know nothing about Atlanta. But the real Atlanta history, some of those old buildings, you don't know what they really were. They might be just, dilapidated. But it kind of a dark joke, but he would say that's where all the old prostitutes go to die. And there's truth to that, because the prostitution and the sex worker, you got a lot of young girls, millennials and they think sex worker, that term is cute. They think it's a form of, oh, I'm so empowered, I'm so whatever. You know what, they're deluded, because later on a 304 is not loved when she ages. 304 is thrown to the wayside, put in an old hotel to die. That's the only thing they could afford to live in. They were living in the fancy high-rise condominiums in Atlanta when they were able to bring in that money. But these people get hooked on drugs. They have expensive habits. They have a lot of hanger-ons. They have a lifestyle. They've been buying Balenciaga, driving around in expensive cars. They're into material. So by the time their body can't be monetized anymore, they didn't plan for a retirement. There's no retirement in it. There's no good future, peaceful. It's nothing in it. And we're going to watch many of them fall. The 304s, they're falling. Kim Kardashian is going to have a slow, or possibly it might speed up, but she's descending. She's on the decline. Her entire family on the decline, being exposed. Every time you open up social media, they're being exposed. And they can't keep ahead of the narrative. They can't use their power that they once had. Their grip on the media narratives. They can't employ enough people to reel this in and stop the exposure. It's because we're living in the end times of their system. So pimps and hoes down. They used to say pimps up and hoes up, pimps down and hoes down. They're down bad. They're down bad. And they're losing their bags. It's not monetizable as easily as it used to be. And these crimes against humanity that are tied to a lot of Hollywood, entertainment, and sports, it's all being exposed. God is exposing it and judging this nation for crimes against humanity. Kim knows. That's why she's dressed in crime tape, because it's a crime scene. You even have another 304. I just remembered this one. Her name is Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner. She sat down with Kevin Samuels, if you remember. Kevin Samuels had a little interest in her for a minute. And Kevin Samuels was trying to have a little conversation with her. Remember, it was a nice set. They were sitting on sofas, and she was an unrepentant 304. She relished how she would look for younger men. Now this is, you talk about a predator. She would go to games of like younger players, possibly high school games, when she's a grown woman. And she's got the, I think she's more naturally enhanced, possibly, maybe not, you never know. But she's around here, body yaddy yaddy, casting spells on these younger men. And she trapped one of them with a baby, one of my Washington people. Sorry. Yeah, she trapped a Washington with a baby. Now she's crying foul. Oh, she's regretting everything. And no, I think, if she's sincere, grace and mercy to you, Brittany. But the 304 culture, you need to expose it. You need to come on the right side of things. and really repent, because that leads women, other like younger, vulnerable women, they're going to believe all the hype that you tried to make it look like the 304s were winning, when in actuality, you were going home alone crying because the guys don't love hoes. They don't love 304s. You're just a play toy. And they can be whores, whoremongers, and pimps. And they could put on a suit and go and look like a respectable man. Nobody's going to bring up what he's done at the pimp and hoe party. No, it's going to be you, woman, 304. You, Kim Kardashian. You're never going to be able to put enough bleach on yourself like you told Ye to do when he was messing around with Amber Rose, to take some bleached showers. What do you think men are saying about you now? See, karma is a bitch. And they say karma doesn't get your address wrong. So nobody is going to mock goodness and get away. Nobody's going to enjoy their ill-gotten gain. It's all coming down. They're all falling timber. Nobody wants to wife up a 304. And Kanye, you know, I have a complex thing with him. They say he's missing. I don't know. But it's funny how Ye invited Kim and Amber Rose to the cookout. He was the conduit to bring them into the culture and to legitimize them. So, you know, men, you got a lot to account for. I'm not going to be over here bashing you and all this. That's not what I'm about. I'm just about, we need to be balanced, and we need to have a natural affection. We need to get back to our organic mind and law. And we need to expose the lawlessness, get from among them as they fall. They are not getting out of this. They're not getting out of it. Pimps and hoes down. And guess what? Let me reiterate, crimes against humanity, all this peddling that the cartels are doing, and the fentanyl, punishable by death. Mark those words. Nobody's getting out of this clean. That's involved. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's over. Especially the ones that are doing this against children. And that's the thing about pornography. It warps the spirit and soul so much that you want more and more degeneracy. You got to top it. And you know where it ends up going? Children. So get off of the ride now before you slide into pedophilia. That's where it ultimately winds up. It's progressive. And animals. Yeah, animals. Yep. Dolls, everything. Anything against the natural order. So, you know, the democracy has to go down. It has to go down. Nobody should be rooting for democracy to remain. We need a republic restored. A restored republic. We need to be repatriated back to God the Father and abide by his laws and become natural and organic. Speaking of which, I was talking to my dad about growing mushrooms. I'm going to be growing some mushrooms, but I want to say I've had some more blossoming of the amaryllis. So I wanted to show you I've gotten some more. This is called apple. I think it's an apple blossom. So, yep, it's been nice having these beautiful blooms. Just wanted to show you some of the new blooming. And yeah, so I need to put like a little support on it. So that was really what I wanted to talk about. I know today is important. You know, we don't know God's ways. We don't know how things will, you know, will turn out. Oh, Sean, the mushrooms I want to grow are, I know I should have qualified that. I want to grow the portobello and some of the shiitake and the lion's mane and things like that. Okay. Yeah, definitely portobello. It's so much you can do with mushrooms. And yeah, look out for something soon. Some goodies. Girl Code, our good sis, is going to be doing some good educating coming up soon. And I want us to get together on some things. We're going to be doing some things together. You know, we've been having some amazing conversations, right, Girl Code? That's right. Yes. So I'm going to be growing mushrooms. My dad, I just asked him, like, you know, some pointers. You know, if anybody doesn't know, I'm an agricultural scientist. So when I want to learn about things, I want him to get involved with it more because he was growing his own stuff. But, you know, as you get older, you get away from it. But he did organic stuff, like even the 7 dust, you know, 7 dust that you can put on your things to grow and keep the pests away. And you can ingest it without being harmed. It's a natural pesticide, right? So yeah, I'm going to keep you posted about the mushrooms, growing some mushrooms and other things, just growing more, you know? Yeah, DMT. Got to talk about that. My DMT mushroom video was taken down with my original channel. But yeah, we'll be getting into talking about things, you know, more things like that. Yeah, so I may come back later. I wanted to talk about something funny. Probably another long. I'm sorry if you don't like the long ones. Just watch part of it and just watch it in pieces. Or if I kept you busy while you were driving or while you're doing housework, some of you, or at work, hopefully I kept you entertained for a bit. So the bottom line is this. Donald J. Trump is not having it with the drug cartels and the human trafficking. And he says he's coming back. You could take it however you like it. I'm not getting into, do you want DeSantis? Do you want Speaker of the House? I don't know. It seems like a lot is going on to keep us kind of distracted. Bottom line is this. We will not uphold their democracy. We will not. It goes against God and the natural order. We are a republic. We think in a republic way. We think about freedom that is derived from God. Our rights are derived from God, not from government, not from corporations, but by God. That goes along with a republic. And we need a restoration of our republic. That was the real true insurrection. Okay? That's the irony. They project what they're doing. They project it. That's what the devil and his children do. The devil is the father of lies. So his children are the children of lies. All you have to do is turn on the TV and listen to CNN. Listen to Joy Reid and all these ghouls. They flip back and forth to go with their whores. Whores. Joy Reid used to be against homosexual. She used to be like a conservative. She goes for the money. They just whore themselves out to be on the wrong side of history. What does it profit a man that he will gain the whole world yet lose his soul? Don't lose your soul. It's going to be plenty of opportunities to get some of these last minute coins. The devil and his kids are still going to lure more people away and to go for the material. It's not worth it. A lot of people are going to learn that. I come from a family, they're so materialistic. They always want to know what you're doing. What kind of money are you making? What are you doing? Because they want their level of respect goes in accordance to how much material stuff you have. They decide how much they're going to like you based. That's my family. I have the mean girl sorority in my family. They only care about what you have materially. They don't care about truth. They're Democrat, hardcore Democrat dummies. A lot of them. They're never going to wake up to the truth. They're just going to become a statistic of the devil. It's unfortunate. I used to like a lot of them at one time. But that's a choice we all make. They chose to be fearful. They chose to be hateful towards people that were not fearful. Fear is the devil's playground. Do not be fearful, but be courageous. God hates cowards. Do not be a coward. Especially in these days, you got to stand up and be bold and brave for truth, for beauty, for natural and organic living. Do not be a coward. That is the worst form of life, is a coward. I can't stand cowards. And cowards do not enter the kingdom. Cowards will get their just rewards. Because cowardice is very wicked. A coward is the kind of person who, in a family, will know that somebody is messing with the children. And a coward will shut their mouth because they don't want to rock the boat. That's a coward. And many children, and this type of abuse has continued because of cowardice. Don't be a coward. So that's it for now. That's enough, isn't it? I will see you maybe later because I wanted to talk about something else. So maybe just look out if you don't get any notifications. I don't know, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the best thing. If anybody has a good thing to share when they don't send the notifications, let us know. Hey, Aaliyah, thank you. You're welcome. Hey, I'm glad. I know I was just ranting for 3.5 hours. Wow. But yeah, I may come back. Just might. We'll see, okay? Have to stay nimble. But yeah, that's right, girl code. Cowards, you said, are the new normal. Shaking my head. Cowards. Ooh. They give me the creeps. Hey, Shauna. Love you. Love you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Juan. God bless you, Dana. Thank you. You probably heard, your ears were probably burning. Dana's ears are probably always burning every time I go live because I'm like, where's Dana? Where's Dana? Shauna, love you. Yes, thank you, boss lady. Yes, hit the bell. Oh yeah, that's what. Thank you. Hit the bell for notifications. I sound like I'm got a script. Camilla, thank you. You're welcome. It was needed. Good. I'm glad. Let's continue to pray. come on later. Okay, I'm gonna come on later. Maybe you need to have a link. Maybe Sissy will want to come on. No pressure is whenever she always knows she can drop in whenever. So maybe you might want to, Sissy. But yeah, what else? Oh, Shawnee's here. Hey, Shawnee. How you doing? Love. Rosie Pie. Oh my God, what a treat. Have a wonderful rest of your day too, Rosie. Love you. Jilly. Hey, Jilly. I have a Jilly from Philly, a cousin. I preached a word. Did I? Did I get preachy? Too preachy? I just want to share this because today I know is very critical. You know, let's pray for the Brunson brothers, and you know they have a fight that they have taken on, and we want to continue to support them because they have put action. They deserve their flowers, you know. Thank you, Brunson brothers. Rollin, love you, Rollin. Rollin, I'm telling you, whenever he would come into the school, it would just light up. He has such a beautiful spirit. And I just never forget how he makes you feel. You know, you just somebody like sunshine. That's how Rollin was every time I'd see him come in. So I love that. Hey Tanya, welcome. Thank you. I'm glad it was long, but thank you for everybody. If I missed any super chats or anything like that, please forgive me. And thank you all for the other love. If you ever want to do any other things, if you want to tip me, this is another way you can do it. This is more immediate. If you want to send anything to PayPal, or my Cash App is the cash tag and Jenny Eason. So thank you all for your tips. I do appreciate them all and acknowledge the love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So I will see you soon, okay? Like later, okay? I'll plan for that. I have to do a few things, okay? So I'll keep you posted, okay, everyone? Have a good rest of your day, whatever you are doing, and have a good one. Until later.